Teething.
Oh, okay.
That's actually good because I dropped my phone anyway.
That's alright. Is it alright?
Yeah, and if you guys don't mind being at either side, now I'll bring you in if that's okay.
Why are you so raw dogging up an iPhone?
Because I thought I was going to have.
So you ready?
Indeed. Peasants! Hello, everybody. Sorry, we had a false start there. That's what happens on live. Mistakes happen, but this isn't a mistake. This is a glorious creature. Say hello to Bruce, everybody. Oh, okay. Now we're live. Now we're good. We're ready. We're ready to go. So I've travelled across the ocean from Prague to London for a very special reason. This is the first episode of what's it called? Side quests with Luke. And we're here with Bruce, and Bruce is going to be teaching us how to wield a sword in medieval times, if he can be bothered to get up, which I can't see happening anytime soon. Just kidding, of course. I'm actually travelled here because David Rawlings, who is an amazing... Well, I'll let him introduce himself. So please introduce yourself, David, for those that don't know.
Hello, I'm David Rawlings of the London Longsword Academy, and I stab people for money.
That's it in the short version, but the long version is...
You want the long version? Basically, I teach people to fence from the earliest fencing manuals we have from about 1285, 1340, everything really from there onwards, which is documented, that has a literary history, so it's written down, it tells you how to sword fight, it tells you how to fight with various different weapons, how to wrestle. Sometimes that has added pictures for our benefit, it does in the very first treatise we have, and then it's my job to deconstruct that, reconstruct it, put it back together, compare it to different resources, understand how they meld together, and then give people an understanding of how to fence in a medieval style.
Everyone says they love your moustache.
It covers up the ugly.
But of course, if you were an actor in a medieval game or film or television show, you'd probably end up working with David. You've worked, to maybe tell people about the sort of things you've worked on professionally.
What have I worked on professionally?
What haven't you?
You're asking me to reuse my memory here. I've done things on executions, I've done things about Richard III, with a rather lovely chappie who has the same scoliosis as Richard III had. Dominic, he's really, really nice. I've worked with Toby Capon, various other people, and every now and then actors kind of sneak in here. I don't really do the stage combat side of things, but I do the realistic side of things, and actors come here and quietly have a little bit of a go before they go back to their shows.
Nice, so. Amazing. But we're not only joined by Mr. David Rawlings today, we also have one of my closest, nearest and dearest friends, Mr. Josh Wichard.
Hello, sir.
So, Josh, you are best known for playing Tav 1
Yes.
in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
That's what pays the bills.
Yeah.
But what else have you worked on?
I play Geshu Lin in Wuthering Waves. I play Vega in the new Tron game. I've worked on 35 other video games. I'm very, very lucky, and I'm doing some TV later this year.
And are you worried about battling me today?
I'm always worried about you in any context.
Yeah, I'm a worrying chap. But Bruce is going to sort me out today, I'm sure. This cat is... Can we hear a little bit about the cat?
Oh, basically he's roadkill, as far as we're aware. Yeah, he was found by, I believe, by a roadside, I think is the story, but I'm not entirely sure. And his mother and sibling had not made it, and he had. So obviously he is the Dark Knight, he has his origin story.
Oh my goodness.
And he has a little sister somewhere who's floating around, who's not a blood relative, but they love each other, and she's running around inside, and she's Robin. Oh, hello.
Oh, big stretch.
What a beautiful cat.
And he's very temperamental.
Well, so just before we begin, let me get my thank yous out of the way, because a lot of people have shown a lot of support already. So thank you to K-Rat, Madman's Box, Black Wolf Cosplay, TV Ghostin, Celeste, Fletcher the Warlock, Hangover, Black Wolf, Safranina, Pistolo, The Happy Blue Fox, Larison, Epic, Epkey, You know what? We might be here all day if I thank everyone, but as always in IRL, it's very hard for me to get through everyone. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming and watching and supporting. It's the first episode of the new series that I'm launching. This is the first one. It's medieval swordsmanship. The next one is going to be horsemanship on Tuesday, where I will fall off a horse. You can guarantee it. Bound to happen. The third one is blacksmithing, and the fourth one I'm not telling you yet because that's a secret. But why not get started? We're going to have to work around Bruce. My videographer is going to be looking at chat intermittently, but let's get going.
Right, first thing.
Okay.
When you're saying about fighting each other,
Yeah.
you're not going to fight each other, you're going to learn together.
Good.
And
That's the
there's
best way.
a very important distinction. When we fence in this class, or in my school, and in most HEMA schools, we'll put on fencing masks, we'll put on padding, we'll put on various different things, and we will stab each other quite liberally, and we'll hit to various different targets. But what I would say is that bringing two new people into that environment with swords that are quite heavy can be incredibly dangerous. So it's a good idea on anything you do. If you ever take up HEMA, you really want to have a situation where you get in, you get acclimatised the area, you learn to go from the lowest level of intensity and you gradually work your way up, and you learn to keep each other safe. It's very easy to go hard and aggressive and injure somebody who's trying to keep you safe by going a little bit more gentle. So what I will teach you today is what I feel is a little bit more of a historical way of learning, which is basically the structure, the mechanics. Look at the rain coming in. We'll be going inside a little bit.
Oh my God. Chat, have a look at the rain. Jesus Christ be praised.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Ripping strips off the landscape as we come.
Wow, that's kind of stunning.
It's beautiful.
And
Watching
terrifying at
cameras
the
is
same time.
Mhm.
Oh, it's really coming this way.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well,
So, what we're going to do,
Live.
I'm going to teach you how to move in a way which is safe to each other. And I'm going to run backwards and forwards in history. We're going to do something just to make sure we are okay with swearing on.
We are
Yes.
okay with fucking swearing, yes.
Good, because there will be a fuck ton. As soon as I get excited, we're going to go. So, the first thing is, I'm going to take you through something that people misunderstand an awful lot. There's a guy called George Silver. He's a very famous English xenophobe. He was writing in the time about Queen Elizabeth. And he talks about the true times. Now, the true times are...
So David, feel free to talk to chat
Okay.
as well if you want.
Cool.
Include them as another person.
So, true times are actually really, really simple. They're very representative of a standardisation of fencing principle across Europe and probably everywhere, to be honest. And the principle is very simply this. You always, if possible, want to get to a place where you can hit with just your hand. If you can't hit with just your hand, you want to hit with your hand and then your body. And if you can't reach that, the last option is that you 1, 2, 3. And that's fairly standard, but it has an extra principle to it as well, which is that basically what I don't want to do is step into distance like this, keeping my sword away from you, get stabbed in the face, and that takes two different forms, which is I go 1 or I go 2. And both of those will allow you to hit me. So it might be great because you can't interact with my sword, but I will probably die. Okay, so this principle of hand, body, foot allows us to work quite safely with each other. Okay. Another couple of things that we're going to talk about is the idea of just simply moving safely. So whenever I want to give you a technique, I'm going to show you the technique. Okay, and again, this will automatically use those principles, which will keep you safer. Because there's not going to be any aspect of stepping close and trying to keep my sword away from someone. I'm literally going to give it to them. Okay, and how I give it to them depends on what we do. Now that seems like a difficult thing. Can you excuse me 1 second?
Of course. The food's here. So just for context, right? We've started now, so we're in the thick of it. But Matty and I, my videographer, have travelled across the world to be here, and we haven't eaten. So of course, mukbang is essential, and mukbang is on the way. We've ordered 3 burritos, and we're going to nosh them while we do this. And that's the way the kitten crumbles, guys. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I have to eat. You know me, chat. You know me. You know I must do this.
You need to go and give him
I've got to give him the pin. David, please continue.
So basically, we're never ever, and I'll repeat this when he comes in, we're never going to try and do something as a surprise. Okay? Anything where you're if I stand close to you,
Yeah.
okay? Anything where we're trying to stand here so I can go like, oh, this is here, and I can do something like this, is really to try and sucker my partner. So what I'm doing is I'm punishing him for letting me get to here. And when we're having a fencing class, what we want to do rather than that is go, if I wanted to remain safe, I would abide by one of these principles of hand, body, foot, so the sword would always be in the way. Okay, so the sword will always go first. which means that initially you're not going to get that jumpiness. Now, jumpiness is something that we can talk about because historically there's this idea of beating fencing masters, people are good at something, by basically being really jumpy, by making moves which are called zaken, which are jerking moves, pulling suddenly, striking the flat of the sword, this kind of thing. And those are literally designed to break people who are good at doing good fencing, okay? But we're not going to do any of those things today. So everything we're going to do is going to be to offer something, to offer a particular mechanical structure, and then for our partner to take that apart, okay? And really, in various different forms, most of the treaties that we have are trying to explain the geometry of sword fighting and the timing of sword fighting more than anything else. It's very, very rarely just run at your partner and hope. It's very, very much a case of structured geometry explained sometimes in non-geometric terms. So you're in Baldur's Gate 3?
Yes. Yeah, it was very cool. It was a privilege to be part of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They seem like a really nice crew.
They're so nice. They're so nice. They're so nice. Both Pitstop and Larry, and shout out to both of them, were just made every session a joy.
Sorry, this is just so on brand. It's like every stream I have to eat.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
Okay. Matty, you also have to eat, dude.
Yeah.
So, how do we do this? How do you eat? How do we make this happen?
I think you have to do it to the lens like this. Third person.
How can we make this work?
I don't know if I'll be able to hold it.
I could feed you.
Yeah.
We can feed you.
Okay.
Right,
Should
you're
be
on
interesting.
feeding duty.
Oh, are we doing that seriously?
No, we are. He's got to eat something.
Yes. Yes. Are you happy for
Poor
me
lad's
to try
not
and
eaten all
feed you?
day. Yeah. So Josh is going to feed Matty, and that's just how we're rolling today. It's okay. Don't worry. It's all good. No tripod, no. It's all gimbal today. But once Matty's had some sustenance, then we're going to crack on. And as you can tell from David,
Oh, hello you. Sorry, Chris.
he's the real deal. He really knows his stuff. He's actually, as well, very important. Oh, Brucey boy! Look at this. Brucey boy's found his favourite.
You traitor. Never fucking liked you. How could you do this to me?
Oh my god, here we go. So yes, please,
So-
please.
So this is our first fencing tree, so I'll show you this. So as I say, this is 1285 to 1340. There's a bit of discussion about when it's dated from. One person thinks that it's a complete forgery from the 16th century that works on Verdadera, but we'll ignore that for now. Okay. So one of the best things about this treatise, this is a facsimile made by the Royal Armouries, is our very, very first fencing manual that we know of. There may well be earlier ones. The first fencing manual we know of has, as one of its protagonists, a woman fencer and 2 men fencers, possibly more. Okay, but this is really, really important. And then at the beginning of this, it has a critique written decades, years later, going, women in monks shouldn't fight, despite the fact that they clearly are. Okay, so it's an interesting thing. History allows us a great degree of diversity and then tries to erase people from it.
That is very interesting. You eating? Okay, we're eating. We're all eating. It's good. There's a wasp. I'm getting rid of the wasp, chat. The wasp is gone. I wafted it. If only you could see what I could see. Josh is literally doing this, and Matty is eating while he films.
I'm massaging his calves.
This is so
Think of
beautiful.
cows.
We've grown closer.
It's
today.
so beautiful.
Sweet stuff.
Okay, I promise we will get started soon. It's just we haven't eaten all day.
It's not even mine.
So while they're doing this, I'll kill some time for you. So basically, I can give you two some educations while we're at. Okay. So basically, one of these swords is a little bit sharp on the edges. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not sharp enough, but if you draw it across, it will probably injure you. Stug. Okay. So touch. But the first treatise we have, 133, says that all people, regardless of skill, will fence from one of 7 positions. Okay. And this is something that turns up again in a different way later on in what we call la verdadera destreza. And, excuse me for murdering language, which I will do frequently. So, basically, what it says is that everybody, as I say, regardless of skill, will fight from one of 7 positions. And we always have a little bit of a thing where we go, can you identify where this isn't true? So when we're here, the first one is what we call under the arm, or prima, okay, here. And it's just literally held anything that goes beneath your arm with the buckler above it, okay? So nice and simple. This is beautiful to watch, okay? So from here, sword here, underneath your arm, 1, and this, for some reason, the elbow pointing towards the opponent. Now, I know the reason, but we're not going to go into it yet, okay? And the buckler kind of ready and covering the hand, okay? The second ward is to the right shoulder, third to the left, fourth above the head, and you get different variations of this. Then you have 5th, 6th to the breast, 7th, 7th, and 7th, okay? So one of the things we often talk about is if all people fence from there, I'll ask you this as a quiz here.
Oh my
Question time, right? If all people, regardless of skill, fence from those positions, 1, watch your head, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7. Where's that?
Oh.
Because you see that in a lot of things.
If all people fence, as in which number is it, or
If you like.
5?
Which is? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
5.
6, 7, 7, 7.
Is it a combination of some of the numbers?
In what way?
Would it be like the shield of 2 and then like the arm of 5? No, I regret talking. Actually. I'm just going to go back to feeding.
Right, Hermione.
No, honestly, rationalising these things is really useful, and it's how we learn. And I think one of the really important things for anyone doing HEMA is always to go in with a very, very kind of like an accommodating mind. We need to be both electric monks. So if you've ever read any Douglas Adams, we need to believe completely what we believe for a short period of time. But we also need to be able to deconstruct our own understanding and go through it from different points of view, accept any information that's new and useful to us, and reevaluate every now and then. Okay. So, simply put, you weren't too far off actually, it's basically this. Because all it is it's a thrust in preparation. It's the hand withdrawn ready to thrust. So this is still the hand withdrawn to thrust. If it wants to cut, it's going to have to become something else. So it's going to become a 4th, or it's going to become a 2nd, or whatever, okay? So it's that simple, okay? So all these 7 wards are expressing is the geometric potential of somebody, okay? So the reason we have 7 where Verdadera has 6 is this, okay? Is that basically if the buckler is underneath here, it puts a limit on where the movement of the sword arm can go. Okay. And it can go quite far, but it has a limit. Whereas if this hand's behind us and we have nothing, we only need 6 because it's either going to be left, right, up, down, forwards, back. Yeah? Simple as that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to learn a thing called half shield. We're going to learn to use that against first ward, and then we're going to learn how to approach from that, and then we're going to kind of expand out from that and various different things. There's certain things that, in my opinion, you need to do in order to make 133 work. I think it's our first evidence of a system which is primarily circular. And when we talk about a system that's primarily circular, by the way, we do not mean that the system just goes around in circle. You have to know when to use a straight line as well, okay? But the idea of basically disadvantaging your opponent by moving away from it, okay? Oh, we might have missed it.
I know, I think it went that way. That's really good. Sorry, the rain was coming, chat, but it's moved. It's moved on.
The drama is gone. I was hoping you were going
Very
to get
happy
struck
about
by
that.
lightning. It would have been really impressive.
That would have been great for the stream.
Yeah, shortly.
Josh has nearly finished feeding Matty. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see.
How am I doing?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
1 second. There we go.
It's these tender moments.
Thanks,
that I'm
babe.
here for.
That's alright, babes.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Oh, sweetie.
Brucey's back! Hi, Brucey.
What's up? What's up, darling?
Brucey, do you know what? Let's not do any learning or fighting. Let's just film Bruce
For 3 hours.
for 3 hours, and I think the stream would pop off.
Why have you got so needy all of a sudden? Is this your big break into fame? You don't usually talk this much. It's like, oh, my moment has come.
You can feel it.
Oh, cameras, go on.
Yeah. Oh, look, yeah. Oh, no, don't film me. But this side.
cat stream height.
You're a floozy. Seriously. What's going on here?
You love to see it.
Using science, which I learned.
I should just look at the stream and see how we're doing here. Boy, it looks good. Looks good. Looks very streamy.
Looks great.
Great. Okay. Well, if Bruce allows it, we'll continue.
So yeah, I also suggest that if it chucks it down at any point, we throw one of the sofas out of the way, we pick a shorter weapon, we go through that, and we'll just kind of bust things in and out and kind of like play it in different ways. Maybe some sickles, because everybody likes the sickles. Yeah, not the sharp ones too much.
Okay.
The pruning gets uncomfortable.
No worries.
So, one of the things I would say is, because I run a sword and buckler class on Mondays, I've left my bucklers of the appropriate period in the class. So one of these is definitely not from the right system, but it will suffice for our ends. Okay?
No worries.
So, waiting for you to finish eating. Have you got any questions while we're going?
Right now I'm feeling overwhelmed because I've got to deal with chat, Matty eating, swords, and Bruce. But I think I can. I think if we start, I'll
Yep.
step by step. I can do it.
Okay. So what I want you to think of when we do this, okay, is we're going to think of 3 virtual distances. Okay. And
Yeah.
the reason I'm going to say they're virtual is because one of them is what I call a position of potential. It's not a thing that necessarily exists, but it has the potential to exist.
Okay.
So it's like freedom, democracy, that kind of thing. So when you're here, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to think on the first step you're going to be out of distance of reaching anything. On the second step, if you were able to, you would be able to reach the opponent's sword with an extended arm. Okay?
Always on the second step.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
you don't want to start the fight off close enough to die.
Okay.
Just an idea.
Worth knowing.
There's this really, really great idea, which is sort of like, if you stand over there for a minute, George Silver has this idea, and it's very, very cool, which is that if 2 masters of defence, you being a perfect master of defence, me being a perfect master of defence, meet on the field, neither of them will harm each other because they're so aware of defence and they're so... You're a wanker! There you go. But we'll never get any closer because I don't want to die. So you can stay over there, mate. So... And that's the principle. It's sort of like fencing is supposed to preserve your life. So if you go very, very cautiously towards doom. So if you can go like, and then walk off, you're fine. Okay? So that's the principle. All the time we stay out of that distance, we're safe.
Okay.
There's got to be a very good reason to cross that distance. And William Cavendish, who's writing later, his wife is one of the first science fiction authors. He's a polymath, and he has this idea, which is that whenever you're fencing anybody, you never let them get close enough to you to do anything wrong. It's like, well, that's novel. And Silver has a very, very similar principle, which is that sort of like every time your opponent comes close enough to you, you always kind of just hit them and slip back. Okay, and that's something we can talk about as we go. Oh, hello! Quick, inside!
We spoke too soon.
Oh, it is raining. It is raining.
Right, come here.
Just starting to rain, chat. But don't worry, never fear.
This is England.
This is England.
Right, folks, come in.
Is there a hall nearby, David, that we could pop to if we need? Do you think? David has many weapons, chat. Many weapons.
I can stop any time I like.
It's not an addiction.
No, totally not. I thought about it basically. If I just get a couple of more swords to tide me over until I stop completely, then that'll be fine.
Wow. That looks kind of like the Dadzig sword. Are you familiar with Kingdom Come at all?
Do you know what? I've not played it because I have it, and I've been sitting there going, I need to have a point where I can actually commit to sitting down and going through something that's not Baldur's Gate.
Nice. Nice.
Repeatedly, over... All I did was try to save the world, and then she left me because I looked a bit like a squid.
I forced other people to make the transformation.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over it a little bit. I'm just going to bring this table over there. Do you want to squeeze through, chaps?
Sure thing.
Because what we're going to do is we're going to stand over here a little bit, and this is going to fuck around with your distance. But we can basically look at this principle of distance using daggers.
Ah.
Okay.
So we're going to be making. This is funny because we're going to be making a dagger in a real blacksmith's quite soon.
Oh, there you go.
For the stream. In Prague, there's a. I forget the name of the actual establishment. It's like it's got a funny name, like Hephaestus or something. But they've done some work with Warhorse before, and yeah, they're going to take us from like the first step of making a like dagger size all the way to the end in one day.
Nice.
Crazy.
Holy shit. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just move these out of the way, sorry. Damoclesian moment there. So, can I get you to stand here for a second? Can I get you to stand in the corner?
Yes.
Okay, so the basic principle is, okay, if you look at this from the point of view, this is not a good environment. I'm going to ask you to go quite, but actually come this side, because then I can, you've got a little bit more space if you need it. Okay, so basically, anywhere where I can get to, ooh, is that lightning?
Could be.
So if I go here and I step to this point, this is what silver would refer to as giving someone the place, okay? So if I go here without putting my dagger or my sword in the way, my partner can hit me with either just a movement of their arm or with a movement of their arm and their body, okay? And this is very, very standard, and if we talk about Verdadera Destreza later on, which is going to be for these more rapier things, we can talk about it in that principle as well, because Verdadera Destreza discusses exactly the same points as George Silver, but in a slightly different context, or a slightly different way. So again, if I go here, my partner is going to hit me as I come in. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Okay, it's quite simple. Okay, so however, what I'm going to ask you to do, can I get you to take a slight step back? We'll try and move this a little bit more if we need to. The first thing is basically my partner is just going to stab me underneath. Okay, so I'm going to expose this side of my body and they're going to stab me here. Now here they can't quite reach, so we're going to have a step. Okay, and again the principle being is that if they get to that distance by stepping first, we get to hit them. Okay, that was actually not bad because you put the dagger in first. Okay, so here, so the dagger goes in and you step. So don't rush. So what I want us to get in the habit of today is, because we're going to try and do cooperative play, again what we're trying to make sure that nothing happens is that we never come back here, because I don't want this to be a surprise to you. What I want you to do is see it, recognise the mechanic of it, and then have a manner of response to it, and then we can discuss logical progressions from that point. Okay, so the first one here is literally having the right flank exposed to the opponent, and this is really a relatively low thrust with your arm a little bit low here. Okay, and again making sure it's going to reach, so you're going to step in with that as you go. Okay, now one of the things I want you to think of is the idea of the concurrence of music. Okay, and that basically means that if I'm going to stab you, don't react for a second. Okay, is that here the thrust and the foot are going to land at the same time, so it's like two notes sounding at the same time. Okay, so when you stab in here, simply all we're going to do is this, and if I accidentally stab you in the hand, oh no, what a terrible shame. But again, here you want enough depth that it's going to hit me. Okay? Okay. So the first action as it comes in is 1, 2, we push this here, we lock the knee up, and this is basically so that our opponent can't spin out the way of it, and then we stab at the back of the neck. Okay? So, nice and slowly. It's alright, you get to win again in a second, because this is, a lot of these plays, one of the things that we have when we're researching HEMA, very much like when people go into museums, HEMA people will go into museums full of real swords and they'll go, find one that fits their confirmation bias and go, this is a real sword. I've done it. I recognise I'm also one of those, but this is the thing. So, okay. So anyway, when we're here, okay, there's going to be times where you get to lose, times where you get to win. So the first thing when you stab here, and again get that in here. Good, once more. Okay. As it goes in, hook it. We stop the arm from moving immediately. Locking up here is a good idea. You make a straight arm. You don't use a bent arm because 1, it gives them access to my lower limbs, and 2, I'm shitting myself, so I push that as much away from me as I can. I step in and I lock the leg here for a brief moment, and then I make the stab. Okay, so that's part 1. Okay, part 2 is this. Okay? In the tempo of you doing the stab here, as I do this, as I'm doing this, I just want you to disengage. Now today, as a rule, we're not going anywhere near the face, okay? Unless I say so, and only under specific circumstances. What you're going to do is you're going to bring this up, keeping the point low so that it doesn't pass in front of my face. Bring your hand up and thrust here. Now this all wants to be done in the same step, okay? But because my parry has to occur before your thrust lands, you're going to basically just simply extend out and do this, but not suddenly, remember? Everything's going to be in the same tempo. So as I go here and I start doing this, bring it into the chest. That's it. Now again, if I can get you to come around this side for me, here, if I'm doing the same thing to you, excuse me, okay, bring this up and just expose this side for me, okay? So if I'm doing the same thing to you, here, okay, if you notice as I'm doing this, one, if you hammer it down, that's it, and you want to hook it this way slightly, hand on the elbow to stop this being able to do this or this, anything immediately, okay? Here, and then push this and step to, and I won't go this way, I'll go behind the leg in this way. Okay, okay, good, excellent, okay? And then you're going to hammer this, good, okay? So, now, the point for me is that basically, hand up, as I go here, I just circle and I finish. So it's all happening in that same intention, 1, 2. Now you're beginning to do exactly the same as everybody does, okay? Which is you're beginning to think about what's happening at the end. Okay. The problem with this, if we go again, here, do parry, is that you end up not parrying. Okay? And that's very standard. That's something that goes on in small sword and this kind of thing. So we're going to do one where you win, 1, pin it. Now don't lean back. Crank this immediately. Now this, honestly...
So it's moving forwards as the parry.
Come this a second. So if I'm here, okay, when I do this, immediately that's happened, I've got to recognise this is going somewhere else, okay? So as soon as it goes again, as soon as it's here, we're like, no! No, don't kill me! And stabby, stabby, stab. Yeah? So it's got to happen relatively immediately. It doesn't mean fast, but it means this goes, fuck no.
Okay.
Yeah? And it really is, if you think this in a straight line is going to be the most efficient way of stopping something coming back. You might get your hand cut. You might save your life. You know? It's one of those things. So, 1, 2. Don't scoop it. Just jam your arm out here.
Okay.
Okay? So, hand up. Okay? 1, push it. Don't hook it too well. Okay? So, if you think, sword knife goes up, here, once you've hooked that, shove this straight. No, here, watch. See your shoulder?
Oh, like that?
Just go, bam!
Okay.
Yeah? And on this one, here, push it or push it, and just go. Okay? And really just ram it away from you. You'll be after you for that food. Okay? Back up a tiny bit. I know there's not very much room. 1, 2. Lovely.
Oh, that
good. That's it. And again, try not to punch on these. We want this to be structured. Okay? That makes sense? So, 1, 2. Don't circle it. All that circling means there's all different things we can do, okay? So 1, 2. And this wants to impose. This doesn't want to be back. You see? Hand up. 1. Kind of almost want to jam it forwards. And again, if you're accidentally stabbing in the hand, doesn't matter. Yeah? Straight arm, jam it, push. Okay? Remember the principle we talked about, hand, body, foot? Same thing here, because it wants to be immediate. So once more, up we go, 1, 2. Okay, so, okay. But that, obviously the benefit is I know you can do it, but what we're looking at in both of those things is what happens, not at the point of start and finish, not at the origin and the termination of the technique, but on the line of happening in between, okay? And basically, anything before that, vor, anything during that time, indes, anything after that, knack, okay? Simple as that. People try and overcomplicate it. You can do all kinds of sort of like psychotic word play with it, going like, oh yes, but it means this. Well, it fucking could, but it just means before, during and after. Fuck off. Okay, so from here, okay? So 1, during the move, 2. And again, notice that your action is fundamentally taking place during the move, okay? This is before, and then you can argue whereabouts after takes place, because again, the timing of it will shift, because obviously I'm reacting after the origin there and then after that, which is why people do all fucking word play. So, okay, so next one. Okay, can I get to come out this side? So, You're going to have to fucking go in a minute as well, you know that.
I'm fucking terrified.
I'm an old man. I'm doing all the work. Have you no care in you?
Oh, just let Josh do it all. It's fine.
Please cover that.
This is the scariest thing I've ever done.
I'm really scared.
And Seth, what have I done? Sweating.
It is. Only some of it is sexual tension, isn't it?
Yeah.
So from here, okay, as the thrust comes in, one, again, I want you to think about that tempo, so go back. Are you alright if I touch your hands?
Of course, yeah.
Good, okay. Any point you're uncomfortable with that, you just tell me.
No,
right,
it's
good. Once more. So as this comes forwards here, remember the tempo? So as I'm in the habit of parrying, so hand first, and this is the advantage of this hand, body, foot, is that part of our brain goes, if I can conceal the technique from you, then I can creep closer and I can do things. But if your partner's good, they will just stab you. And this, I don't want you to see what I'm doing because you'll react to it. But the art of fencing is seeing what your partner sees you do and reacting to how they counter that. So what you do is you pull them out of whatever position they're in, which is effectively breaking their position. You pull them out into a longer point, brings their arm forwards because they have to react to what you do, and then you can respond accordingly. So it gives you this thing where you can actually just go like, oh, when you're doing that, you've initiated a response from me. And because you see the response from me, you can now go somewhere else. So you're not just hurling that at me. You've got intelligence, you get to use that intelligence. So remember, it's going to be here. When I go here, circle the other way. Okay? When you're here, that's lovely. Good. Okay? So when we're 1, 2, 3. You see? Okay? So same principle. Now, when we're doing this, can we do this a little bit slower? Okay? The first play, the thing that I haven't mentioned, is our first one was we do this and we just pop. Okay? But then we build on, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3. You see how your distance is beginning to change because you know what's happening, so you're no longer initiating the attack, you're initiating a feint fundamentally, okay? And this is something that we have to, this is kind of the idea of the perfect Duke, is you pop this way again. Don't know why we need to change sides every time, it's just, I'm sure that if like martial artists gets into proper fights, they just swap sides just as a, no, your turn as the mugger. Thank you very much. Okay. So when the dagger goes up, here, okay, 1, 2. So the first action, okay, this is like a pickout. Hook, give this a little hook and just shove it back into my armpit. Okay. So 1, 2, armpit. Yeah. Boom, move it. Yeah, lovely. Okay. And there you see there's a problem. 1, 2, okay. And it doesn't matter, it just means that 2 of us will die. You see? Okay. 1, and if you don't want to die at the same time as me, because this might well hit me, this is where you need to do that second move. So basically now, very slowly please, 1, slowly, up, change your intention. Recognising that you're in danger, pull that up, hand on the elbow, push it through. Yeah. This is actually the correct order, I was doing it the other way. And here, okay? And again, lose this feeling. Push the technique home. Okay? So 1,
So it's that.
2, parry, there, push, stabbing, push, 2. You think? So it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds. Okay? So the thing I was going to say, which is the point about the real sword earlier, is that the amount of teaching methodologies that are used by fencing treaties throughout history are as myriad as our modern understanding of different manners of teaching. And different authors talk in ways that speak to different modernalities very much, and people do exactly the same. So somebody will pick up Joachim Meyer and go, that's an incredibly modern way of teaching. It's one person's modern way of teaching, but it's not another, because we all understand things subtly differently. So this is Paulus Hector Meyer, who is basically the treasurer of Augsburg, who embezzles the city for partying and writing fight books, and then they hang him. It's a happy ending story. So yeah, it's a thing. You kind of, as you go through these things, you find the source that speaks to you the most, and then you compare it to things that you maybe didn't understand before, and it gives you like an insight and an inroad into everything else. But this, Paulus Hector Meyer, is very, very interesting because it's, at first glance, I think people can find it a little bit opaque, but one of the things that has a real benefit is that it's somebody reconstructing techniques from other manuals, even at that time. And that is wonderful because you get to see somebody interpreting it closer to, and that has to inform our decision making. It's very easy to go, oh no, that's not right. And it's like, it's usually our experience that's wrong, not the treatise itself. But yeah, so it's an interesting thing. You're going to do some?
I've
got coffee to drink.
I'll have a go.
Take this from me, I beg you.
Oh no, I mean, here you go.
Okay, I'll take
Talk
both.
him through. I'll come and help you.
Oh! I kill people with this! I slit their throats in the night!
I'm more of a pacifist than a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. Well.
So you're going from an overarm,
and I'm coming under here like this.
So yeah, and so first of all, you see that as you stepped in and you kept your arm back, and you stepped to a point where your partner would naturally stab you. So you've got to recognise that fundamentally, and also you've got to recognise that your partner's not going to fucking just stay there as well. Your partner's going to slip back. Okay, so if you go forwards and you go low here and you go, oh, we're both going to do that, and they're going to move away from you and reap your hand out of the way as you go. So, the way I want you to think of this, I tend to think of it as being like the accometimento, is that you're giving or you're taking. So accometimento nowadays tends to mean just to attack. But the principle is that you're giving something to somebody, okay? Or that you're taking something back, okay? And in both cases, usually if you'll give or take, you'll do that or you'll do that. Someone gives you something, you take it from them. Okay, and it's a really useful way of understanding your technique. So that when you're going here, the first thing you do, you give it to them. Yeah. Then they respond. Then you go on and go on and go on and go on. Yeah. So that's a very useful way of doing it. Don't try and make it a surprise, make it a gift, but still abide by the principles of fencing that are going to keep you safe. Here is something that I can observe what I'm doing, but by default also what they're doing. I can see their response coming, so now I can change in an intelligent, different way should I need to. Yeah? On you go.
So
well, yeah, that's
so
fine.
I am coming to give you
A
this.
little bit high.
Okay.
A little bit high?
So, no. So, if you think if you're thrusting on a lower plane here, kind of like level with your solar plexus, even a little bit lower. So think stomach. Okay? And drop your hand down so your arm's almost in a straight line here. That means when your opponent goes down, you're then going to go up.
Okay, yes.
Yeah? Very good.
So you're coming from an overhand grip
So
like
if I'm
this.
over here,
Don't start so close.
then the logical
So I'm going
choice-
to do this, and
Oh, do
you
you want to come outside and do that?
are going to absolutely yes.
Does it stop raining?
Maybe.
Ooh,
A little bit.
please tell me it stopped raining. The rain chat.
Now, when you go, folks...
Oh, not
I
quite.
want you to You're right.
I think the camera can probably handle it.
I've got an umbrella if you want.
Yeah.
Do you want an umbrella?
Yeah. Do you think you could manage an umbrella, Matty?
I can sort that for you, don't worry.
Bear with us, chat. Matty, how are you feeling?
Very sweaty.
Very sweaty.
Oh,
Do you want to
yeah,
take
it's
your
warm.
jumper off?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Let me hold the camera. You take your jumper off.
Do we have to cut it off him? I've got knives.
I don't doubt
Now
that.
you've all got my face for the next few minutes.
Play with them.
Holy shit, that's heavy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, we got all the kit now, so...
I thought my emotional baggage was heavy. It is.
Okay. That's better. No more sweaty. Chair might help. Hi chat. How you doing? It's good to see you again.
Why do I recognise that emblem? Is it Metal Gear? No.
Just bear with us here. We're just doing some things. Live! It's live! To 1,000 peasants. It's this is what live's like. You just roll with the punches and the stabs. There we go. We're getting a chair for Matty. He doesn't have to stand all day with gimbal.
Here you go. No, this is for you. I can feign being like a master. Yes, make me tea. Good. On you go. Let's have a look. Now, one thing quickly before we go. When we have more militaristic forms of fencing that's not fundamentally in the salle, so the salle tends to have a nice kind of like, quite often something like a dancing floor or something like that. And if you find this kind of thing interesting, by the way, I suggest that you talk to people like Rob Ronicas, Dr. Rob Ronicas, one of my friends, who has some very, very interesting thoughts about how little there is a connection between fencing and dancing, because very often they're sort of like, oh, you must do the two things. I think what usually happens is that somebody might go, you're really shit at walking, go doing some dancing, that will help you get better at it. But it's not the case until quite late that there are people who are fencing masters and dancing masters at the same time. So Rob Runnicker's, if you get a chance to look at any of his work, is really, really thoughtful on this. Okay, so when we're doing systems that are in the saddle, we can kind of afford to step our leg out quite a lot. We can put our heel down on the floor, for example, and we can go like this. When we are outside, our lunges by necessity want to be shorter, really no more than a foot, and the foot wants to land quite flat, and you want to put your weight down into the leg rather than pushing your foot out from underneath you. And a way to think of this, Vaishnav talks about this, is the idea that the lunge is not to give you distance but to give you depth. Okay? And it equates to kind of the same thing as you go. So you kind of do this as you go forwards. One. Okay? And this allows your torso to lean forwards as you go here. Okay? But again, what we're not going to do is this motion. We're going to put our foot flat on the floor and then recover. Okay? And that will help you in this environment because it means you won't slide very long. Again, lose the jumpiness, but otherwise good. Do you want to try and go through? Are you left-handed?
No. That wouldn't make sense, would it?
One of the really nice things that you get with Dagger that you don't get very often with this is this and that. So it's worthwhile thinking about as you go through. So there will be points where you change hands. And people come to all kinds of excuses as to why the dagger might be... It's illustrated. No, it's in his left hand. It's really simple. Okay, on you go. Good to go?
Okay, so, alright. So you would come at me, and the logical thing for me to do would be that?
Okay. Yeah. What I want you to think of is, if you think of where your elbow is, there's a lower plane, and this is going to be your higher plane. So when you're up here, and again, this is kind of stab me here kind of thing, okay? So you lift your hand up, like so. Okay? And you want to give me your flank in this case. You're right if I touch your elbow? Sure. Okay? Up and here. So you're exposing this quite a lot. Okay? So here, still with an element of threat, right? Okay? And put your weight not here. Don't try and move so that you're getting yourself in a position where you're a bit immobile. Okay? So bring your feet a little bit together and kind of pirate stance it. So if you think of this lower plane, here. Okay? 1, 2. That's it, and you're going to go the other way for now, because you're going to be hooking this way. Yeah. Okay? But as I go here, first thing, stab to the arm, and as I do this, cover, hand on the elbow.
Sorry.
Hand on the elbow.
Oh, you
straight out.
Gotcha.
Wrap it. Yeah. Push it away from you, and step. Okay? Gotcha. And then you can step in front of your leg, you can step behind the leg, and there's different reasons for both.
Can we go through that slowly? Yep. So you went...
So, you see here, and basically what I'm looking at is the line that my elbow naturally hangs on in its lowest position, not so much here. Dagger up.
Dagger up. There.
1,
there.
2, up. This is going to be another way.
Okay, so it's there.
1, remember this? There. This is what makes it... the thing that means you're going to come from this side. You're right for touch your hand?
Sure.
Sorry. Okay.
No worries.
Okay. So, when you're here, the thing that makes you want to do this on this side is the fact that you're trying to stab me here.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you've gone 1, 2, here, this means that when you're halfway through this motion, you're going to end up coming from this side. So very, very slowly.
Yeah.
So
there,
1,
there,
cover,
there,
step, there. Push. Don't push it down. Here, push it across me. This is the reversal. So you turn your over here. Good. Yeah. 2. That's it. And again, give the structure of the technique. Good.
So. Yeah. Always, you're never just blocking. You're always trying to attack at the same time, or like most of the time you're trying to counter rather than just block. All right.
So there's multiple different ways of this, and different authors deal with this in different ways. So in this case, what you're doing is the idea being again is that one of the things I really like about Viedma is this idea that everything that your opponent can do can be undone because you are intelligent. So you can go, I'm changing my mind now. Yeah. And he's saying something that's kind of needs to be an assumption within martial arts. And when we sportify this, and I'm just as guilty of this, you should have seen me in small sword yesterday. I'm like, no! It feels great. No one's really going to get hurt. So you're just kind of like, let's do little explosions, and everyone's really happy. But what you don't do, and where the best stuff is you just don't go, no, actually, I want to keep myself safe and I want to move again. Okay? So I don't know why I went gas next there. So What we want to do is we want to fence in a way that keeps us safe. So every single thing we do, if we commit to it fully, Fabrice talks about this idea that if we commit to delivering a technique with great athleticism, that we are not going to be able to recover from that technique sufficiently should we need to keep ourselves safe. So offering something with a sort of like, this is sharp, it doesn't need a lot, is like, oh, okay? So if we give that and we're more thoughtful, at any given point we will need to change our mind if it's the thing that keeps us alive. So your priority is to stay alive. Your secondary is to injure the opponent. First of all, to take their ability away to injure you, and then past that is to potentially injure them or to potentially kill them. So you can go, I want to do this thing, but you've got to bear in mind there's a dichotomy to this. As I think sometimes we mislabel fight and fight or flight, and I think really what we should be looking at is it should be fight and flight. And if you ever watch things like even current day machete fights and this kind of thing, you'll notice two people who will kind of work around a distance where they want to cross that distance because they want to injure the other person, but they also don't want to die. So they have fight and flight. It's a unified thing. It's like, I want to mess you up, but I do not want to die. And this is the feeling. We're hesitating around that distance where we want our opponent to step, because that gives them a degree of commitment and it gives us a tempo that we can hit them in. Silver talks this about basically anything they do with their sword has to be tied to their foot, because they have to get close enough to you to do something. So in that moment where they're doing something is where they're most vulnerable, so that's where you're most likely going to initiate the counter of some form. Okay? So that's an awful lot of information. Carry on.
No, it's great. Yeah, I mean, it's like learning a language. So slowly through that.
Slowly being deep.
There. So it was there. What was the next move? What did I do after?
There. Nice circle above.
There.
No. Okay, so remember what I think it would come just okay. So if I'm doing this, okay, the first thing is obviously I've got to stop it from killing me. And if you think of things like Angelo, basically what you're doing is you're here, even though this isn't doing this. If we were doing Angelo smallsword, we'd have a dry beat, and then we'd have a return in some form. Okay? So when we're here, this is not dissimilar, except because we're in a pick grip, 1-2. Yeah? So we have a dry beat on the dagger to move it, and that's it. And that's what it's subject to. So we have to have two things in our mind at the very least. One, I want this. Two, where is it going to go? And if in the process of going 1, 2, it changes into something that's more offensive, we go here. Yeah. And different things might happen. You might get here and your partner might lodge into it. And then you've got to make your decisions on what you're going to do something different. And yes, people grab things. Here you go. Sorry.
I have PTSD after this chat. Don't go. Don't leave us with the daggers.
My work here is done.
Watch how emboldened this is going to make me now. And just with no justification to back it up.
Just remind them, you knew Yoda, he was very nice. Get beautiful green skin. Don't rush. Okay?
Okay. So, with that.
So much. Offer low, go high. Okay? Because what you're doing when your partner's hand is up here, okay, is you're enticing them to go down. And even if they're stabbing you in the hand, so if I was to go, if you just go, I'm going to stab you in the hand. And this thing on the end of the dagger. There you go. Well done. Excellent. Good. Up we go. 1, 2, stab you in the hand. Okay? If they're stabbing you in the hand, removing your dagger is not a bad idea.
Okay, yes.
Yeah? And there's different ways you can do this. You can do this, Morozzo does this in slightly different ways. But that's a conversation for later. Again, not like this, mobile. Okay? And not here, because if you're here, I want this, maybe not you. Okay? So this, you're able to touch your hand?
Yeah.
Up, elbow out. It's like, look at my lovely rib cage. Okay? And now, because I'm looking at your lovely rib cage, the purpose of a high guard is basically to draw me down. There you go. Okay? And now, because my hand's low, and then just pop into there. There you go. Okay. Once more. So give it a beat. Now watch here, because you're very, very far over here, I'm not sure I even want to stab you. You want... Where are you going to stab you? It's going to be there, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay? You see, you've got more options, and it becomes more vague. So if you can give me a singular opening, profile your body a little bit. Take your elbow out for me. Here. Turn your front foot forwards. There you go. Okay, but turn your body. So fundamentally, you're going to be like this. Look at my rib cage, not my front. My rib cage. You see? There you go. So, yeah. Did you just saute it? Yeah. Taste sorted.
Felt like a praying mantis, but shit.
Okay, so that.
Can we do a side channel called Rate Your Praying Mantis?
Okay, so down here.
So, if they've already gone, you have to respond from that. So if you're 1, I have to respond because it's moving. Okay. If they've committed and I have time, and you see at any point I have to change my mind. And I have to change my mind when the information changes. So it's not I'm going to go 1 here, that's too late. Okay. It's not 1, I'm going to commit to that and get stabbed. It's going to be I'm going to throw that, oh fuck that. Yeah? Okay. So slowly. Okay, now don't die.
And then
Slowly.
And then
Good. Nice.
Okay, I see.
None of this.
No stabbing.
No sudden movements. Off. Show the technique.
Oh, Joshua.
Oh, Lucas. Yeah.
Okay.
Push!
Yeah.
Drive! It's neck.
Okay, nice.
Just me here.
I'll stab you wherever I bloody well
No,
like.
I wasn't criticising.
He's like, no, stab me here. I'm
I
like,
wasn't criticising. It just,
he's got an itch.
scratched an itch for me.
He stabbed me here because I got it.
Yeah.
Oh. Right.
Oh, that got it.
Okay, well, I feel like I'm a fucking master daggersman now.
You sound it.
I can say that because David's not here.
Do you want to try and close the gap between that and the push?
Sure. Okay. Wait.
No, I rushed it. No, so here's the thing. Okay?
I rushed.
You're beginning to get to the point where you're turning it into sort of like a sportive or a combative mindset, and it's not that yet. So, I'm going to say this like a man who has definitely field stripped a gun. I have never field stripped a gun. I have tried to eat KFC when it's been quite noisy. So what I want you to think of is that at the moment we're discussing the geometry. So what you want to do, and this is the field stripping principle, is you want to do it in the comfort of your room. I'm just going to do this, I'm going to take it apart. There's nothing that's stressing me out. I'm learning the formula for doing so. Okay? And then after that, we want to add a little bit of intensity. So our partner might go a little bit faster, we might start going a bit. But we're still in a very, very artificial situation because what we're doing is we're going, this is the geometry of that. This is geometry that counters that with a complete true cross on the blade. This moves this out of the way, which means that the opening to it is here. So I need to move here and go back in the time where this is still in momentum this way. If it stays still, I need to stop. And there's lots of choices on those things. And because there's lots of choices, we need to rationalise it before we move on to making it something that we're doing under intensity. Okay? So we don't put all the sort of thunder flashes and everything in like that until we're settled in the geometry. And once we know what's going on, then we can build into a thing. And this is why I'm saying that sort of like it's very tempting to just go like, oh, we do this! Okay? But you're basically just slapping each other and hitting each other with big bars of metal and you've not learned anything. So this is geometry. If I do this, what's the information telling me? Eyesight, feeling. What does that tell me? Now when I watch my partner moving, because they're moving at a set speed, which is much slower than we want to use when we're fighting, we can go, oh, so if it's doing that, that line there with momentum takes time to get to there. When it's fast and they're committed, I'm going to be jab, bomb. But for now, we watch the line happen, we go around it, they do the counter, we slip back, we push, you see? So it's about offering each other geometry initially. Yeah, good.
Okay.
And I'd go for the stab in the face on that one when you go over the arm. And that's basically because it's going to be a little bit harder for him to block than this one initially. Because this one comes, Yep. Don't rush. No rushing. Okay.
But what would be the issue with what I did there in theory?
He might stab you in the fucking face while you're going really suddenly, or you might stab him in the face while you're going really fucking suddenly.
No, but not as an accident. I mean, like, in terms, if this was a real fight, would that not be?
But we've already established that you doing this is the correct thing to do. But what you're trying to do is to get more speed into it to win the situation, and that punishes him for giving you something slow. Okay, because, and I'm going to take this to an extreme. If you want to turn it into a fight, what you should do is wait until you're having a shit and kick the door in, and then just lump you up. Okay.
No,
this is the okay. The reason I'm saying this is because the second you start turning this into going faster, we already know that this is an option because we've just been practicing it. What's wrong with me doing it faster in a fight thing? You can do whatever the fuck you like in a fight because it's a fight and you get to do all the fucking different techniques and all of this kind of thing. Because this is in a training environment, what I do, if my partner has the courtesy to offer me something at a pace, I only carry on that pace as they go. So everything, and this is basically, this is kind of martial arts etiquette from wherever it is. Whatever speed they go is the speed everything continues on. Okay? And he establishes that. If I go, there's a couple of different things. If I go here, okay, I'm going to do the thing here. So if I go one here, that's great, but what I will also tell you is that his reflex for doing this, if I do this very often, is as I do that, to hammer this into my face. And what you're in danger of doing is injuring him because he's trying not to injure you. Okay? One of the problems with the accomiatimento techniques is they're subject to flinch, which basically means that if my partner is here, and they go, oh, I can hit you, and they just go, you go, ah! And you stab people instinctively without thought. We need to remove that, and what you did there is, unfortunately,
I'm not trying to kill Josh.
No, this is never, ever, ever done.
I promise. I'm merely a novice, chat.
I know this. Okay, so this conversation that we're having, I have with students every single day. Because it's very, when you isolate things down to geometry, it's very, very, you kind of go, your brain goes, I could win this if I just went a little bit faster.
Well, what I was wondering was if something feels natural to do, is it necessarily the right thing to do? I guess was going to be my question. So if I felt like at this moment in time it feels right to go for him there rather than, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The question is like, whatever feels natural, is that usually the right next move for you?
There's an awful lot to this. Okay. So there's ideas of the suppression of what is natural, and the idea of the suppression of what is natural is that we just go for something even when it endangers us. Okay. Yeah. So if particularly when we're sort of like we don't have the fear of dying, it's very tempting to go, fuck it, I can have that. Okay. That said, going for the next available option, which is natural, is definitely the right thing to do. Yeah. Tempered by stopping from dying. So there's aspects that
mixture of
absolutely. And the whole thing is that fencing has got to be seen as an expression of what is natural, codified. So, and this is all we're doing, is we're going, there's so many things you could do. You have the entire range of all your physical potential and physical ability to move. Mm-hmm. You could run in and grapple, you could do this, you know, you could try and nibble at his hands. There's many, many things that you can do. Could you? And if he cannot hold the dagger, he cannot win.
Over a bit.
Yes. Suspended by rope.
Don't forget the toes.
Yeah. Feel those bubbles.
Don't neglect the toes.
Yeah. So, yes, natural is okay. And natural is good because it indicates, and you want to make more things natural, but what you want to do is make your responses that keep you alive also natural.
Sure thing.
And what you did here, sort of watching it from the outside might have been different to how it felt from the inside. You went here and it's like, ha! And what you didn't see was the dagger here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that thing was all like, I have stabbed you through the shield, but did you look down? You know, that kind of thing, okay? So...
Is there anyone within the vicinity that you know that's also a swordsman that might be able to come by and give a demonstration of... Because Josh and I...
How dare you?
Josh and I are okay. We're okay.
No, you're going to do technique.
No idea what I'm
because you're-
capable of. It just so happens you're right.
Just for
but,
that benefit,
you know,
it might be
that's the
nice
point.
for someone to see a true.
I don't know. I will see who I can find. Let me have a look.
All right. No worries.
Also, it might be too much for my head to organise because I'm in teaching mode. So,
That's fine.
go on with this.
Yep.
And then I'm going to get you some different weapons, and then I will have a think about that.
No problems. No pressure.
No, that's
pressure,
okay.
of
I
course.
don't know. I need to think. So, tell me what's the first thing that went wrong.
Tempo.
No, distance.
Distance. Stance.
There's no intention to hit, and that's fine because it's not necessarily wrong as well. So this is sort of like this thing of going like, well, I don't want you to do it. Often ends up to thrusts that don't go past the elbow because you don't want to commit. So this would be what we call a half thrust or a feint or whatever. Okay? Anyway, have a go.
Okay.
Nice.
Sort out
Did a bit of acting at the end there.
Yeah, love that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's good to
Was
see
it
him
good?
acting.
Was it good?
Yeah,
Would you hire him?
I'd think about it. Next.
Next one. Gimme.
Moving on.
Okay, so
Next.
He's trying to kill me.
do you need a few minutes break? Has your head gone spang?
It is a lot to take in. But no, I'm fine. What do you think? Maybe we have a little break and then we can interview you for a bit.
Yeah, we can do that.
Do that.
Think about that, yeah?
Do you want chairs?
You need a break as well.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I've got coffee. Who needs a break?
Yeah, because today is also about finding out a bit about Josh. So
Shoe sizes are 9,
good.
43 European,
Okay.
10 American.
Don't know what they're going to do with that information.
Buy me shoes.
There's a website called buyjoshshoes.com. You can go there now. We'll just have 5-10 minutes. Wow, it's a lot to take in, isn't it, Josh?
It is, yeah.
How you doing, Massey? You all right?
Can I vape on your stream?
If you must.
Yeah.
Of course you can. It's
I'm
fine.
going to.
Just don't do heroin.
No, I won't bother.
So, of course, today is not just about learning a bit about medieval sword techniques chat. It's also about learning about a wonderful guest with each episode that we do. Obviously, today we've got Josh Wichard, who played Tav 1 in Baldur's Gate 3, amongst many other roles. He's an illustrious career he's had. And we're going to find out a bit about that. And then next week we've got Master Svetek, and then many other guests to come. But today it's all about Joshua.
Hello.
Isn't he beautiful? He's stunning.
I look like I've been lost at sea.
But that's why we like
I
it.
look like I've spent 5 years in Jumanji. It is for a job. I have to look bedraggled for a job.
Yes, he's got a big job coming up. It's very exciting. He's not allowed to talk about it, are you?
No.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And I would never dream of it.
And I'm very proud of him.
And I have you.
Yeah.
You've done crazy
We're
things.
doing crazy things.
Yeah.
We've known each other a very long time.
Over a decade, I think.
Over a decade.
Over a decade.
We met at a play, was it? Yeah.
Front row.
Front row at the most harrowing, traumatic play.
And it was in a very small venue, like
I can't
50
even.
seats.
The play was so traumatic. I don't think I could tell you what it was about. Like on stream, it's that bad.
I remember one scene, and it's a scene I'd rather forget.
We don't want to think about the scene.
But I remember that we were literally like toes on the set, on the stage.
Yes, we
there
were.
was no escape.
It was the tiniest little venue,
Yeah.
theatre.
And it bonded us.
Oh, it did.
It drew us together.
It did.
Through a harrowing ritual.
Indeed. But anyway, I want to find out. It's like a fireside chat with Josh, and I want to find out a bit more. If you've got any questions, I will keep an eye on chat as we go. But let's find out. So, tell us, Josh, about your time, because obviously, what most people, a lot of the fans here will have played Baldur's Gate. So, tell us what it was like working on Baldur's Gate.
It was just the best time. It was mostly recorded chronologically, which is quite nice because I don't know how it was Kingdom Come, but you don't often get a chance to do that as an actor, especially because they were writing as they went. It did mean that there were kind of bouts where, we'd sort of be in 16 hours a week doing stuff, and then you'd do nothing for months.
Yeah.
But it was great. Like when Pit Stop kind of moved into the floor above where they are, and then you had 5 or 6 studios on the go at the same time, and there's people whizzing in and out. It's just a wonderful atmosphere, and I have worked on some games where you sort of think this might be a bit shit, but with Baldur's Gate there was always like, man, these scripts are great, and the scope of the game is crazy, and it was always just a wonderful experience. and very collaborative as well, which I think is really nice.
Well, I've met many of the other actors from the game. They've mentioned that you never actually meet the other actors, though. Is that right?
No.
Yeah. So it's good collaboration with the devs, but not so much with other actors.
It's very like I played a cousin, part of a cousin duo in a game called Banisher's Ghost of New Eden by Telltale Games, it wasn't Telltale, it was Dontnod, and it was brilliant. Nobody played it, but it was brilliant. And I was a very evil character, and I had a cousin, and we had all these scenes together and these huge confrontations. We never met during the whole process. It was only months later that we ended up by a chance of fate meeting and working it out. But it's quite sad, actually.
Yeah, well, there's some projects are like that, where you work on something, and it's like any other voiceover gig or any other job, and you don't sort of meet anyone, and then I think it was Charlie Cox, was it? Or somebody worked on
from Expedition 33, yeah.
And it obviously his character became immensely popular, and he was at a convention and he was sat there and everyone was like, have you played it? Do you know what happened? He was like, I honestly can barely remember recording the lines. I don't even and it was nothing to him, but like the character was so significant to people, and he was like, well, I'm gonna have to play it now because everyone's obsessed.
Yeah.
So I must find out why.
I hope his parrying's good, because that game is.
Because Mael will fucking call you out on your parrying, guys. What's his name?
Again?
What's the character's name? She's always telling him to parry. Gustav, parry.
Yeah,
it's like, chill out, Mael. I'll do it at my own time.
Which is funny because I think Gustav was the project name for Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah?
I think so. It was one of the project names, or it was one of the. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was how the tabs were referred to in the script.
Sugar Butter Power Up asks,
yes.
Did Josh do mocap work as well as voice work?
For in general, or for Baldur's Gate, or
in general and for Baldur's
Gate? I do so much mocap. I have a mocap tattoo, much like Neil Newborn. I think I've done about 2,000 hours in the volume, maybe over. But I've been very lucky. Mocap's just the weirdest, best job, and it's great. I can't talk about the specifics of it, but I did 10 weeks mocap for a movie, and it was a sci-fi movie. So it's always just wonderful when you go into an empty studio and they're like, "This box is that's a transponder, and that's that's it." And you kind of go, "Great." But I love mocap, and it's great. I've been very lucky to do some. I did the Barbie movie. Did mocap for the Barbie movie, which then said there was no CGI in it, which was nice.
Wow, what kind of mocap did you do for Barbie?
Ken dolls for crowd seats. Played a lot of beach ball, sat on a sun lounger. It was a great day.
He's got very Kenergy, hasn't he, chat? He's got a lot of Kenergy, I feel.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie. Everyone's obsessed with Bruce every time he walks past. Polo Pandy, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone that's gifted anything today. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I've missed you, but I adore you. Thank you. So besides...
how did you find mocap?
Well, I love it. I mean, I've always maintained that I like it because it forces you to employ your imagination more than any other medium.
Yes,
so with film and theatre, TV, you've got...
Shall we head inside?
Yeah, we've got some rain, chat, again. I've not been blessed with weather. I never am, though. Every time I film or do anything and I'm outside, it rains. Virtually nearly every time. But we must strive on. What would Henry do, chat? He wouldn't give up, would he? Sorry, Bruce. Sorry?
Use the swords as a backdrop.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want to come into the front room? Because then you can actually sit in comfort if you want.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, yeah,
that's all right.
Put my shoes up because they're wet.
Yeah. Very messy.
Thank you. My pleasure. Do you want me to bring you a chair as well? Come through.
Oh, great.
T-bow print for anyone who wants to know. Original front page of T-bow.
I know, I saw that.
Come through, please. Do you want a chair?
Yes.
I know 3s or 4s there.
I could not lift a single one of those. Hi, chat. Hey, guys. Fancy seeing you here. So, sorry, I should be checking chat for any questions. But, I really like how it forces you to employ your imagination, because with any other medium, you have help, right?
Yes.
So, and that is great, and it's probably makes your life easier as an actor, right?
Yeah.
But I actually like the challenge of you don't have anything to help you.
Yeah.
And it sort of makes me more focused to be like, no, if I am not focused, if I am not believing exactly where I am and I can't feel the grass under my feet, no one's going to believe this. And I think it forces me to be a better actor in a weird way.
And it's just wonderful to see how it ends up as well, when you go from these like small studios, just covered in dots, and then like the one I always love is the one of you with the rope tied around your waist for the water.
Yes.
And then you see that scene, and it just looks so good. It's transformative.
Looks, like the first moment, I'm sure, for you as well. Like when you first see the final kind of, or the first like, iteration of what they've got to with the animation. Like it's so moving. Like the amount of work someone's done on a performance you gave. Yeah, it's like, wow, what a special,
truly unsung heroes, really. Of the game.
It's incredible. Okay, let me just see if there's any questions. What was your favourite line for Tab 1?
I love the dirge stuff. I loved the dirge stuff. Like whenever we went in, they were like, "This is a dirge line." So there's one that's something like, "Pave my path with corpses, build my castle with bones." That's just really cool. any of the dirge ones, which is a bit. And there was another one, which was just in the toy factory where there's the bears being turned into bombs. There's a line that's like, "I'm sure this toy will be finished if they just bear with it." It's so dumb, but I was like, yeah.
Chat really agree with you on that one. They like that one. Have you ever get claustrophobic in the voice booth?
Only when doing audiobooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Some audiobook studios are quite large, but there was one I did that was quite a small booth, and I was in there for about 4 days doing this book, and it was like the height of summer, and it was just roasting, and you just kind of, by the third day, and all you've heard is your own voice for 4 days, and you're sort of in this booth that's narrower than this sofa, and I was a bit like, and you just, once you get to the last 100 pages, it's like people are adding pages at the back. You're just like, how's it only been 10 pages? So only then. How about you? Do you ever kind of go?
I've never done an audiobook, so I wouldn't know. And I haven't done them for that reason. I've been asked to do them, but it's a lot of work for not very much pay, in my experience.
The money's pretty poor.
Yeah, it's pretty poor. It's the kind of work you do when you've not got a lot on. You tend to have to self-direct
as well, which I don't really enjoy. If it's like a half day or a day, this is going to sound really like, if it's not long, I'll do it. And maybe I am being a bit of a diva, but there's not a lot of creative joy there for me. So if an offer comes through for one and they're like, it's going to be 5 days, I tend to sing.
Yeah. How did you start your acting career?
So I didn't know what I was doing with my life, and I was in a very long-term relationship, and I was a little bit unhappy.
Ugh.
And I was like,
long-term relationship. Ugh.
And I was like, but you can be unhappy and have a life. My parents had 2 kids and they were miserable.
Yeah.
And then they got divorced. Thanks for bringing that up, Luke. And
we're getting real deep here.
Yeah, we're getting real. But then that ended, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And then I was kind of like, well, I've quite enjoyed acting, and I was like, I've taken 4 gap years now, I'm doing nothing. I was like, but then I kind of, and it sounds really morbid. But I kind of was like, I watched this thing on YouTube by Denzel Washington, and he was saying, if you're on your deathbed and you're surrounded by the ghosts of the choices you never made, how many ghosts do you want haunting you?
Oh my god. And
I was like, you're right. I was like, I would rather give something a go and be like, you know what, it went shit, but I tried it. Than be like, at the end of my life, be like, oh, I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd committed a bit to that, or tried that.
Yeah.
And so I basically just secretly applied to a bunch of schools and got in.
Yeah.
And then just was the oldest person in my year, but glad I took a risk,
and it worked out. Look at him now, chap.
Oh no! Sometimes you have to take a risk on yourself and your career.
You do. Sorry, Matty's spilling coffee. Is it all right? Yeah, it's good. Sorry, let me just see.
How did you get started?
How did I get started? I did a play when I was 12.
Yeah.
And at that time I didn't really have any skills or any kind of focus, and my parents and my mum particularly was like, what is he doing, what is he going to be, what is he going to, like, we've got no idea. And then I did this play by chance and I made everyone laugh, and then my teachers told my mum, this is all he's got, so like just throw
this is it,
throw everything at that, because he ain't got much else going for him. And so my mum really took that to heart. And so
good on parents. Shout out the parents that support their child's crazy endeavours.
And I started going to stage schools, and then I stuck with it because it was the only thing I ever really enjoyed and was good at, and people said I was good at it, so I just kept going until I went off to drama school, and then I gave up at 24 years old, and
look at you now.
And look at me now. But
an international star.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. So yeah, is the kitty here again?
No, I think the meowing was like resonating.
The meowing, Bruce. Dearie me. Okay, let me just see if there's any other questions here. Your haircut looks a bit like Wolverine.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
Do you have a dream project or an ambition that you're working towards?
Happiness, probably.
That's not achievable for you.
No, you're right. I'm a single actor.
I've known
London.
you for a long time.
It would have happened by
It's
now.
a fucking pipe dream.
Get real. No, I don't know. A regular on something would be nice. Like a regular part in a show would be nice. Yeah, probably that. It's probably more. Or obviously, like crazy Star Wars. Anything Star Wars. If I got to be a stormtrooper, I'd be very happy.
That's sick.
I'd obviously then want more, but because we're never sated.
We're never satiated.
But or Marvel. Just,
everyone's calling
I
me a
couldn't
hater.
pick like small. I wouldn't, couldn't be like a really small indie film would be really nice. Instead, I'm like huge franchises, huge, disgustingly unreachable franchises.
Absolutely.
You got to dream big.
You do. And I think he's on his way, chat. He's on his way. So outside of acting, what else do you enjoy?
I like playing guitar.
Yeah. Oh fuck! He's an amazing guitarist.
I'm not amazing.
Truly. Like I'm not just saying it, chat. He really is.
I'm all right. Really like playing stuff. Love playing games. Big gamer.
Why aren't you in a band? Or are you in a band?
I was in a band. We put out a song. It's just hard to find time as an adult, isn't it?
It's also
to like
hard
corral
to find
people.
a group of people that will actually commit to it.
Yeah, like I used to live with my band, so it made things. It's very cliche. And then I went on tour with the play, and I came back, and the singer had gotten a job on a cruise ship, and the drummer decided to leave to become a nurse.
Oh.
And there the dream died. But we released a song, which I thought was quite good.
Yeah, nice.
But it's just hard corralling. It's hard enough to get a D&D campaign together. Just getting like 5 adults together in one space.
I'm doing that this week.
Are you?
Yeah. Next
Nice.
week I'm going for my first ever D&D.
Oh, have you never played it?
Never played it. But I can't wait.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Have you chosen a class and race?
No.
Nice.
No.
Is it a one-shot?
It's, what's that?
A one-shot's like one you can just do in 4 or 5 hours, start to end. It's
I
not
assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 5 people that we're doing it in an evening, so I imagine
Oh, great.
that's
Yeah.
probably-
Nice.
Yes. Natbat, yes, please do drop questions that you see in the live chat and Discord, and I will get to them. You're amazing at guitar.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. I'm not as good as I should be. We always do this, don't we? We put ourselves down. Someone says
We
something,
do. We
and
should
we
do
immediately
that.
go,
Yeah.
nah, rubbish.
Chat, give us something to be happy about. For Christ's sake, look at us.
But yeah, I'm playing the Oblivion remake at the moment, which is it's great.
You're also a streamer.
Also a streamer.
He's also streaming.
Occasionally we've been slacking on that, but it's just life. Life gets in the way.
Well,
sometimes.
hasn't your streaming partner moved out?
No.
No. Still going?
No, still going.
Awesome.
Still going. Also still going.
Great. So I've put your stream.
Oh, thank you.
In chat. So pinned in chat, everybody is Josh's stream.
Yeah, we've been a bit slacking, but it's just life. Life gets in the way sometimes. It's hard to keep a consistent schedule.
It is. Sorry, I'm just looking at the questions. La 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 la. What keeps you motivated when things are tough? That's a very good question.
I have always said that it is very hard sometimes to love an industry when it feels like the industry doesn't love you back. And I think that's one of my issues with the end of drama school, as they're saying, is when you're in your third year and you're coming down on the sort of the sort of wrapping up sort of months, the final months before you are sent out. You do a lot of workshops where they go, this is how to be when you're in the room, and this is the things you say when you're in the audition room, and this is the kind of pieces you should do, and how to present yourself when you're in the audition room and when you're going to all these auditions. And actually the more realistic situation is, a lot of the time you're not even in the room. You're not even in the same building. Yeah. You're not even in the same city as the building. And, you know, you kind of leave with this inflated sense of like, fuck, like, let's go. And it's great, but there's also, I think I was unprepared for the realism of the situation, which was, it's not great a lot of the time.
No.
And so I'd kind of left with this inflated sense of success. And then before I knew it, it was 7 months down the line, and I remember sitting in the stockroom at my day job crying because it was shit. I'd had one audition which had gone terribly, and it was for a commercial anyway, so it wasn't even like proper like work.
I really appreciate it when people are honest about their careers, because I'm the same.
You've got to be.
Well, I
You've
think
got
so.
to be.
Well, I think a lot of actors actually aren't, and
No.
they kind of pretend that everything's okay and they're doing really well. But
especially on social media, you see a very manicured, tailored version of being like, "Look how successful I am, and also happy," and actually, that's not the reality. You know, there are a lot of no's. Like I was clearing out my video folder the other day, and just all the self-tapes, the ones I just didn't get, ones that I sent, and I went, I fucking nailed that.
Yeah.
Don't even get a recall for.
I know.
So it's just about staying creative. You know, I found a really good thing was to like find scripts, write scripts. A couple of times I'd go to function rooms in pubs with friends, and we'd just like go through scripts, and friends would direct, or we'd do some improv stuff, or we'd make our own work if you've got cameras and stuff. It's just about keeping that passion alive at a time when it feels like the industry isn't operating for you.
Yeah, I agree. I believe in the exact same thing, and also following your nose in terms of what's working and what isn't. So, you know, with my current situation, like, streaming is working. It's fun. I enjoy it. People seem to like it. While ever that's working, I will keep doing it. And I won't chase things that are kind of like feel like flogging a dead horse. Yeah. You know, and
I hope this the side quest thing works out really well, man.
Well, I hope so. I mean, this is the first of many, but I kind of want to take it further, and I always want to push things to like the next level as much as I can.
Nice, but stuff has to evolve, and you have to evolve with it. You can't let anything stagnate. Your career, you should always be looking to.
Absolutely. But staying creative, I'd say, is it's just, there's something about bringing something new into the world that wasn't there before that makes you feel better. I don't know why that is, but it does. And so, like, if anyone's having a tough time, I always tell them to try and do that, whatever it is, even if it's just painting, or you know, at least you've done something that day that you can be proud of.
And sometimes it's just making your bed. You know, when you go through that rut, you know. So even if you just make your bed, sometimes it's just about doing one thing, and you can be like, I did something today.
What's your favourite way to prepare for a role?
Ooh. It's an interesting one with video games because we were saying earlier, because the other person's not there, so much of what's lovely about television and stage is that you have two people with opposing objectives or intentions. And what I mean by objectives and intentions, it's things that A, they want to make the other person feel, and B, things they want to achieve from the conversation you're having. And when people have opposing intentions and objectives, you get this lovely live chemistry that's going on. Video games, a lot of the time, you're just reading to nothing. So it's you still do the work, but it's a shame to not see it come to fruition live. But just going over the script, just getting the grips of the world. If it's a franchise, I like to look, and it's one I haven't played, I like to look it up and do a bit of research on it. How about you? What do you do?
Preparing for a role, I tend to... I mean, it depends what world it's in. So with Kingdom Come, obviously, it's good to have a handle in... I mean, I'm literally currently going through a medieval like a fucking series, which is actually retroactive. I should have done this fucking years ago, chat. But it's, you know, like, I like to get. I'm very physical. I'm not necessarily very academic or, you know, like reading manuscripts kind of person. I'm more like I want to get it on the horse. You know, I want to feel the soil beneath my feet. I want it to be physical, and then I will feel like I'm in the right world, in the right time, the right place.
I feel like that's for me anyway. That's the better approach, because I think when you become too scientific or analytical, you take the character or the preparation into something which isn't based in realism. It's based in in an analysis of a situation rather than in the living of the situation.
I also when we were at drama school particularly, and that's okay, it's fine, because like you're there to learn what the best kind of method is for you, but I always found that people would talk about, like, you'd be sat around a table and you're about to do a play, and people would talk for maybe an hour or two about how they were going to do it and what they were going to do and the circumstances and all this, and then they get on their feet and they wouldn't employ any of that stuff. Because it's all kind of in your head, it's all up here, it's not real. And I would be like sat there just going, can we please get up and try it and do it, and then try it and then see what didn't work and why, and then we can talk about it a bit then. But like, I think there's a lot to be said for doing. You know, because
the nature, as I was saying, the nature of it is, how many times will I say nature, is that everything that you've prepared will inevitably change anyway. Because you're sitting down and going, and then I want to wound with this line, and then I want to endear with this line. It'll all change anyway, because when I come in playing the scene my way, it'll fuck with what you've done, and what you've done will fuck with what I've done, and then you get a really lovely live situation.
Concoction.
If you become too embedded in the prep, it forces you into a situation where you are unable to adapt that into a living thing. You become too entrenched in the work.
Angel by Shaggy asked, what was your worst audition that you've ever had?
It was actually my first ever professional audition. And I was at drama school, and my agent called, and he said, I've got two, if that's all right.
Please go.
And he said, I've got you an audition to be the hot guy in a Coca-Cola commercial. And I was like, fuck, what an accolade. And so I went, I grabbed a massive breakfast roll thing at the train station, and I get there, and they're like, cool, we're going to take you in twos, here's the script. And I was like, cool. I wipe and pastry off my mouth, and I read the script, and it's two guys floating on a pool, on those pool lounger things that float, and it literally said looking ripped, and I was like no doubt. And then basically one of them, their coke runs out, so they'll puts one in an armband and floats it along. So anyway, they took us in twos, and I was with this very attractive, lean, lithe Italian guy. And we did an ident, which is basically where you're like, Josh Wichard, London-based, represented by this person, and then they went, just pop your top off and do it again. And I went, what?
No.
They went, just pop your top off. And I went,
what?
Right. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. And then I finished it, and they went, you can just keep it off, it's alright. And I went, ah. And then we had to reenact the commercial. It's like October, we're on the floor of a building on Leicester Square, just lying there shirtless, sucking in for the camera, pretending to drink Coke.
Oh,
and then they gave us these Coke cans, and they were like, don't touch them to your mouth, because we've got to use them all day. So we were there going, God, this weather, eh? Didn't get it.
Didn't get it either. After all that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I had my worst one. I think I've talked about it on stream before, but my worst one was I had it was I was very young, and I was like, I'll try modelling, but I didn't think I was looking enough to be a model.
You are.
No, stop. No, but I really was like, fuck it, I'll try anything. And it was they were like actors and models, so I was like, okay, fine. So I went along, and they're the worst ones. They are the worst ones because they don't give a fuck about you in any case, and they also don't pretend to. So I walked in, and I do the ident, and then she asked me a few questions about myself and blah blah blah, and then she went, can you now bark like a dog?
What?
Yeah. She went, can you just bark like a dog? I was like, what? She was like, are you stupid? Just bark like a dog. I was like,
She said that?
yeah, no, she was exceptionally mean.
What the fuck?
But kind of, I feel like she was doing it on purpose to maybe see how much she could get away with in these circumstances, knowing that she held all of the power in the room. She was, for lack of a better word, a cunt. She was really mean, man. Like, honestly awful. And I honestly, I am so chill usually. Like, like really tolerant.
Did you say anything?
I'm a really tolerant, understanding person. But I was like, no, I will not bark like a fucking dog. And this is ridiculous, and I'm leaving. And she was like, excuse me? How dare you? She was like really upset. I was like, this is the most degrading thing I've ever been a part of, and I'm leaving right now. And she was like, well, she said something snarky on my way out.
You have to stand up
and
for
I
yourself.
ripped up my the audition sheet, and I left, and I was like, I felt dirty.
It's awful.
Dirty.
Man. It's awful. Like, when I was picking myself up...
It was the way she was asking me to do it as well. It wasn't just that...
Because they know you're desperate.
There was something demeaning. It was like... She was kind of taking a sick pleasure in asking me to bark like a dog.
It can be exploitative at times.
If she'd have done it nicely, I might.
Because they know your desperation.
Yeah.
And they know that they can be like, bark like a dog, and someone will be like, what kind? What breed do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
My other one was, I auditioned for a reboot of 4 Weddings and a Funeral. And, yeah. Did you not catch the TV reboot of 4 Weddings and a Funeral?
Clearly
Crazy.
not. Clearly not.
And I auditioned for Hot Guy in Jacuzzi.
Okay.
And then got a call from my agent saying, he said, hey Josh, got some good news and I got some bad news. And I went, what's the bad news? And he went, the bad news is you didn't book Hot Guy in Jacuzzi. And I was like, brilliant. And he went, but the good news is they think you're perfect for another role. And I went, well, what's the other role? He went, it's a bigger part, you had a scene with all the leads and a fight scene. And I went, my God, brilliant, what's the part? And he went, douchey guy number 1. And the guy was misogynist and then racist and then got in a fight, and I was like, brilliant. So they looked at me and went, not hot but definitely an asshole. And then I booked it.
Beautiful. Well, on that note, I think we should
fight
head back, do a little bit more fighting. What do we think? David, we're coming back for you, sir. He's left. David's gone. David's gone.
Absolutely, I'm wide awake.
He's wide awake.
Thank you, sir.
Coca-Cola. You've made me thirsty for Coca-Cola. Dude, I'm thirsty. Luckily, I have 3 cans here. Thanks, David. How's the rain? Is it stopped? Oh, amazing. Very good. The rain has stopped, chat. Life is good.
So different weapon now. Well, I was thinking we'd go until like maybe 4:30. That's good. That's good. Coming through. Hi.
I might run through some further there with Claudia later, which might give you a if Klaus. Clau, are you happy doing that later?
So we have. Is this someone you work with regularly, or
It's my partner.
it's your partner?
Yeah.
Hi, Claudia. Claudia's here.
Hi. Yes, this is Clau.
Hi, nice to
Hi.
meet you. I'm Luke.
Nice to
Hi.
meet you, Claudia.
This is the peasants.
Hi.
Yeah. Don't need to introduce you. You're peasants. Who cares? Cool.
So, talking of peasants, so we have basically a couple of different options. I have a little game that I play with people because it's a little bit historically contentious, which really amuses me no end. So we can do a little bit of longsword with you. I'm going to skip sword and buckler, and the only reason is because I think you got a little bit anxious, and forgive me if I'm wrong, I think you got a little bit anxious about the sort of like the jumpiness aspect. So I think if we can go through maybe some longsword and some messer, we'll skip the sword and buckler, because having 2 things can sometimes overload the brain a little bit if there's too much information. So we'll start off maybe with sword in 1 hand, 2 hands. Does that sound good?
For sure.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're doing really well. I just obviously, because we're not wearing masks, because it allows you to talk more easily, I'm being right on your case about safety, and I
No
understand
problem.
it's,
So yeah, safety's good.
Matty's got to change battery. So while we do that, we're just going to go to the BRB screen, change battery, and then we'll crack on with this. Okay?
Nice.
Perfect. On you go, Matty. You can change battery if you want.
What's happening there? Oh dear. Oh man, this. Here we go. I'm looking for work. Henry wants to work at the bathhouse?
I'm here to...
Well, it's about time. Put it somewhere inside.
There must be some
Put
mistake.
what inside?
I'm not delivering anything.
What do you want, then?
I'm
Well,
looking
she's-
for work.
You've come to the right place, then, because there's
What?
a mountain of work here. Who might you be?
Henry of Scallis.
I'm Betty. I run the place.
Can you repeat your fucking self, please? About time! Put it inside! What? Can we not grab a drink first? Jesus Christ be praised. I'm getting a good Valley Girl voice. Oh my god. Tiffany, have you seen that girl over there? I can't believe what she's wearing. Like, I said to Daddy, you know, I can't believe that someone would show up to this party looking like that. And Daddy doesn't even care. He doesn't even care. I'm like, what? Honestly, I'm so over this party. I just want to go home and I just want to, you know, put my feet up and, you know, I'm just tired of this bullshit, you know? Oh my god. It's just like, why does life have to be this hard, you know? That's my Valley Girl.
Do I need to call Joel?
No.
That's a great Valley Girl.
Thank you, baby.
You have to work it into account.
Sweetie, it's so amazing.
What's the next job?
Action gig.
Yeah.
You sure we're back? Oh, we're back. Yeah, just keep. Yeah, we'll keep it on. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi. Sorry, we had some.
Didn't break an NDA. Jeez.
Oh my god, some very serious technical issues there, chat. But we're back. Oh god, I'm getting some serious back. Yes, we're good now. Hi. Sorry about that. We're back. Oh yeah, no. So what was I going to do? I was going to shout people out. I was going to do shout outs. I just want to say shout out to a few people. If I miss you, I'm so sorry. Sophy, Fletcher the Warlock, Benedict Hat, Kinney here, Death Dusk, Melamona, Sissy, Angel by Shaggy, Sineth, Safanina, Respectful Vengeful, Polar Pandy, Black Wolf, Killigan, I'm Only Hades, Death Professor, Black Wolf, Fletcher, Angelic Cabbage, Ketchup Zombie, Glacy, Arthur Cheese, Run Ray Run, Eternal Slavo, Motsa Mermaid, Muzzy Linker, Pong Mania, Iodum, Sissy, TV Ghostin, Celeste, Hangover, who else have I missed? Pistolo. Okay, if I've missed you,
Aren't you glad I'm clapping?
please do. Look, if I've missed you, I'm so sorry, but bless all of your hearts for watching, supporting, subbing, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoy. And we're back to kicking ass in medieval times.
Right, so what we're going to do, grab one of these each.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to play a little bit of a game. Are you both okay? Can you put your points down just when you're not using them? Thank you so much. Okay. Are you both okay with innuendo?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
More than okay.
So we're going to try and do a thing. Now this is very interesting because anyone who's done, for me at least, anyone who's done Nixon Our Swordsmanship will spit feathers by the end of this, but it really amuses me, and this is something I've been doing with people for about decades. Okay, and what I'm going to get you to do in a minute, I'm going to get you to get some space, and I'm going to get you to close your eyes, and I'm going to get you to try and embody the information I'm going to give you without feedback from me. And the reason I'm going to ask you to close your eyes is so I don't give you some pointers with my hands accidentally or anything like this. Okay, I am going to give you vocal pointers, but I'm going to ask you to try and express the thing that I am saying.
Don't rain again.
I'll be alright, I'll clean these. Okay, are we all waterproof? We'll be good. Okay, so what I want you to do, get some space, okay, and hold the sword in 2 hands. Okay. And the first thing I want you to do, without letting go of the sword, I just want you to close your eyes. I want you to stick your sword in the ceiling. Stick your sword in the roof. Okay, as much as you can. Stick it right in there. There you go. And open your eyes and look at each other. That's the guard of the roof. There you go. Really easy. Okay? So, the next thing I want you to do is, again, I want you to close your eyes. You can relax. Think of a bull or an ox. Okay, and if you're thinking of a bull or an ox, what are you thinking of as its pertinent, dangerous features?
Horns.
Okay, so can you emulate that? You'll need to do probably something on either side in order to do the horns. But can you show me the horns of the bull? Both hands on the sword. Oh, now that's interesting. Good, okay, excellent. Right, and relax. Very well done. Okay, next thing. I want you to hold your sword. Close your eyes. No cheating. Do you know what a plough is?
Yep. Yeah.
Imagine using your sword like a plough.
Having said yes quite quickly.
No cheating. Oh, interesting. Okay, open your eyes. Okay. No, there's no wrong answer in this. This is the thing that we go through.
That's my plan.
Yeah. We'll
just
talk
how
through
I
this
do
in a
it.
second. Okay. So, last one. Okay, close your eyes. Relax. And what leads young men into foolishness?
Sex.
With the sword, dear.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. And open your eyes. There you go. Right, so. Okay, so relax for a second. Now, interesting. Again, the reason I do this is because I want to know how mnemonics work for people. Okay? And basically what happens in our earliest longsword treatises, we have information which is basically passed along through mnemonic. And then that gets into text form and so on and so on and so on. So, what I'd like to know, when you did the plough,
Yes.
okay, because you both did different ploughs, okay? So you did the plough, and I'm going to ask you first, what was in your mind when you did the plough?
Something low, low center of gravity and kind of pressing forward.
Okay, what are you ploughing?
A field.
Okay, what made it a plough in your mind?
I mean, fucking nothing. just kind of like pressing forward, like ploughing a field.
Okay, cool.
You know?
Yep, no, this is really lovely. This is the value of mnemonic, it's how we understand it. And when you did the plough?
I think I did that.
Yeah. Okay, what was in your head?
Driving dirt.
There you
Breaking
go.
ground.
Okay. So, we're going to go into both of these. And this is really interesting. In decades of doing this, we have had, basically, can I take the sword, please?
Please do.
You're the first person in ages who's actually done this, who hasn't done Lichtenau. People who've done Lichtenau do this because Lichtenau says this is plough, or latter Lichtenau says this is plough. Usually what we get is either this or this. So either drawing or this, okay? That's not the point. The point is that you have a reason for why you did the thing you did, and this is what we're going to talk about. Now, interestingly, we also have a bit of discrepancy when people do the Guard of the Ox. The two things we tend to have with the Guard of the Ox is one, here, or two. Okay, because a lot of people go, oh no, okay? And this is interesting for me because we have exactly the same thing happen in the treatise, okay? Which is the very first treatise goes, the plough is on the floor between you and the opponent as if you were ploughing the earth. It's either to the left, to the right, or in the centre, but it's between you and the opponent, and it is also called the iron door, the icing floor, okay? Everyone else, this is the plough, and so is this, okay? Why is an interesting question, okay? One resource also says, everyone else goes, this is the ox, This is the ox. One resource goes, nah. Horns, top of head, like that. Okay, so it must be like this. So people take the meme and they express it to mean the thing that they need to do. And you see this in Kung Fu and this kind of thing, where like there's height differentials and this kind of thing, so you change what the technique looks like according to your height or to your understanding. The value is how you understand that information. Okay, so there's potentially 2 reasons why it changes. Okay, one is the smutty reason, and 2 is the semantic reason. Okay, so this is very, very, when you're saying this is quite accurate. So the first one that we went for is kind of like the comedy meme, and we usually go from the point of view of talking about, do you know the term egregious? Yeah. So egregious used to mean you're really cool, you think outside the flock, and then it becomes actually a bit of a toss-up. Okay, and what we think might have happened is that basically you go, this is the guard of the fool, but if you're foolish, you've been drinking. And if you're ploughing, and it's a bit, okay? So there's a connection, okay? The other reason that quite often I think we have this for the fool is that in Shakespeare, for example, you have someone running around with a marotte, the jester's stick, just basically going, woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo, okay? And I'm going to talk to you about why this is actually quite a useful thing for us to use when we're learning how to fence as well, okay? So the semantic reason as to why this might happen is we have in the first, what we used to call Dobringer, HS2337A, something like that, okay? We used to have, this is the guard of the plough. It's also called the Icing Fort. Remember I said it's the iron door, okay? And then later on, century and a half or so later, Joachim Meyer is saying that, a lot of people say that this is the iron door, but they're wrong. This is the iron door. So you have a semantic reason where you might have people who've gone, well, if this is the plough, and it's the iron door, but they're wrong, this is the iron door, then you have a reason why mechanically it might be called something different, okay? But very interesting as well, because you gave a very good rationale. We're going to return to the fool, and the reason is it really helps people to understand this, okay? And I'm going to try and cut off one conversation point that we usually have with a bit of an explanation from where we were earlier as to why you're going to have your hands back, okay? Here, okay? And that's because if you have your hands forwards, it gives your partner something that they can manipulate out of the way. If your arms are an extension, it can be pushed out of the way. Remember I said about giving? So if you give, you can just shove it out of the way, okay? So, the way I get you people to remember this usually is you're going to have 2 postures, okay? Porter de fuck off, stay away from me, and porter to bring it, okay? So you go, come here, shove it, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? The idea being is that when you're in the porter to bring it, you're trying to get your partner to stick their sword forward so you can force it out of the way, okay? But this is how we're going to learn it. We're going to learn it in a little bit of a comedy style, okay? If I say to you the guard of the fool, and again, those of you who do Lichtenauer, I know that this only applies to potentially the first treatise and everything else thereafter disagrees, but it's a really useful thing. What we're going to do is we're going to put the hands in front of the groin here, okay, with the sword towards the opponent's face. This means that your arms are going to be extended, so we're expressing a geometry, okay? If I've got my other foot forwards here, I'm going to do the same thing. Now what I want you to do is you get to express your inner child a little bit here, because what you're going to do, if you point your sword towards me, okay, and again you think a little bit of innuendo, no, because it's your bit here, okay? If you do that, and you put your sword here, now try and show me the tip. But here, okay, be a little bit, yeah, no, just that's it, okay? And then here, if we're both doing that, you feel the tension, okay? Good. And if I'm here, same thing on the other side, swap your legs over. And again, put your hands in your groin, and you feel the tension, okay? Now if you move your hands away from your groin, you'll feel that the tension changes. Can you feel that, okay? Now, this is really helpful because it gives us, within that simple thing, remember I said that really what we're doing with fencing is we're expressing the geometry of techniques, and sometimes we don't have that vernacular, we don't have that way of talking about it. So if you're not going, well, this is going to be in an obtuse angle and this is going to be an acute angle, what you do is you go, well, if you stick your hands in your groin so it's a bit like a knob, then it's going to work like that. And it gives us a very, very precise mechanic. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to engage like this, and we're going to talk about the finished jaw tutorial in a minute because I do this an awful lot. Put your hands right in your groin, which means that your arms are going to extend because of the natural proportions of the body, you see? So here, and now you're going to hide your rear shoulder behind the sword. See? But not by lifting, because again your hand's got to be here. And then all we do is we try and get behind our opponent, and then if they push a little bit too much, you're going to change. And you have two ways that you can change that are simple. You either lift your sword up, and you put it on the other side. You lift it up, and you put it on the other side. Or you go underneath, and you put it on the other side. Underneath, and you put it on the other side. And all the time, we're trying to maintain an iron door between us and the opponent. You see? Dom, dom. Does that make sense?
So if we swap to that side, is that when we reverse the footing?
Yes.
Nice.
And the key to it is that what you're going to try and do is you're always going to try and hide behind your sword. So that when you're here, if you're standing square, you put it in the groin, see if you're standing square, just straight for me, here, you see that your shoulder's always going to be exposed. But if you take the shoulder behind, this keeps you safe on this side, and if you want to keep this shoulder safe, there. And again, in front of here, because if you lift it, it changes the geometry. Do you remember? Does that make sense?
Sure.
You're not going to try and get close other than by, remember that idea of sort of, this is where the meme makes sense. Because if you do comedy knob gag here, and you go, look at it, look at it, look at it, then all of a sudden, arms straight, hands in the groin, okay? All of a sudden the geometry of what you're doing will make sense. You'll be forced to use and understand a certain kind of pressure, and you'll basically understand the pressure that you need to use to fence. This jousting, although it's comedic, is also useful. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? So the knob gag in this case helps us understand the pressure that we need to fence. Now, nice and gently, don't try and get close. You're not going to extend your arms, keep your hands in your groin. I want you to try and sneak your way behind your opponent, okay? Now here's the other piece of information, relax. Have you seen the Finish door tutorial?
No.
Finish is a moment of genius. It turned up on TikTok and Instagram, okay? And if you hold the sword out, please. Okay, basically what it does is it goes, when you're opening a door in Finland, there is a tutorial. And what you do is, you place your hand upon the door handle, you lift your foot, and when you open the door, you slide your foot through, and then you place it and you close it behind you. And this is the best expression of the guard of the iron door that I have ever seen. Because what you do is you go from here, I want to get to that side of the sword. Okay? I'm going to move this out of the way and I'm going to walk through the space. And then it's going to stay closed behind you. Does that make sense? And now I've got close to you, I'm now inside the room. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you're both going to try and do that. And in the words of William Cavendish, your job is to get behind your opponent, I'm paraphrasing slightly, which they will not suffer you to do. Because no one wants to let the person get behind them in this context. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Right, I'm going to shut up, other than to say, put your other foot forwards. There you go. And you're going to go what we call, other foot. Here. This edge here is what we call the true edge. Okay, this is what we call the false edge. You're going to try and keep your true edges together for the time being. So it's the one that you'd usually use if you're doing work around the kitchen, that kind of thing.
Finally crossing swords.
Yes. Okay, so nice and carefully around you go. Keep your hands down, because otherwise you'll change the mechanic. Don't rush. Don't rush, you're getting too close. Too close, too close. See here, you have your hands lifting. Now this is going to form a greater angle, inverted area of stress, of what we call is a movement of ingress, which means that we have more leverage over the opponent's sword, but it does begin to take our sword more distant from our opponent's face. So if we're trying to keep our sword onto the opponent, hands in the groin, this kind of thing, we're limited in how far it can go because we must maintain a threat and also safety. You see? Good. On you go. And remember, you can change sides as often as you like. Very good. Don't rush. There. Now. Okay? Can I take the sword for a second? So here's the thing. If someone puts too much pressure on the sword, I want you to think of it like Belgium. Okay? So that when you're here, sword please. If you're a part, again, hide yourself behind the sword. So can you see here, you have a threat but no safety. Now you have a threat and safety. So if my partner's doing this, okay, what I need to do is I go, well, that is the Maginot line. You've left Belgium open. You see? And you just be on the other side of it. You don't need to attack the wall when you can just go around the side of it. Okay? I think the Mongols did something very similar to a certain wall. It's just kind of like, we don't need to be involved with the wall. If the wall is too open, just walk this way. Just attach your sword. Now cover my sword and go this way. So you still need this cover in place, and now go here. Okay? And again, because you're wide, I don't want my point to go too wide from you. So that information is always a rationale of, see there, that's great, but it's, you see? And these things are not hard, they are cognitive. Do I need to confront that? Can I be on the other side of it? Because at the moment, all we're doing is we're negotiating how we get closer to each other. This is not the full fight yet. This is a negotiation for the space. And if I don't need to be involved in a fight with your sword, why be involved with a fight with your sword, you see? And then if I can dominate it, now if I dominate it too much, yeah, but don't rush, because you see how you left the sword over here? So when we go, I want to cover that sword, okay? And then this puts us into a very, very similar mindset to what we're doing with things like Fabrice, where we're trying to go, well, if I can get closer to my opponent and still maintain leverage, will I do so, you see? Okay, does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Don't do the last bit. Good, here you go. So keeping your hands in your groin.
That was really cool.
Careful, slow, don't rush, don't rush, don't rush. Think of that conversation. My friend Tonquay says, and I love this phrase very much. This is again on an interview with Rob on his Altera website, on his YouTube channel. He says that Verdadera Destreza is a conversation between two liars. And this is what you want to have in your mindset, is you're trying to kind of like go, oh, I'm definitely doing that, and then you change your mind all the time. I'll get you an umbrella, one second.
Are you going to be okay with an umbrella?
Hopefully.
It keeps raining, chat. I've not been blessed with the weather.
You should have a word with someone, really.
I mean, come on.
Okay, give it a try.
Right, let's see what we can do with this.
Here you go. Give it, that's all right, I'll hold it for a minute.
Yeah, it's all
Here you
right.
go. Yep. Just keep it calm, keep your distance, and you kind of, at the moment, you just want to engage on the last quarter of the sword, just for now. Here you go. And think of don't rush, that's very good. Don't rush, don't rush, don't rush. Everything, if you feel you have to jump, something's gone wrong. And what I want you to think of, don't lift your hands up too much. Remember that the reason you're doing that is to maintain a set geometry. So hands down in your groin. That's better. Straighten your arms out, push your arms straight. There we go. There we go. Yes, good. Now don't allow them to get close. So if they get too close, move away. Don't go too hard. And again, change instantly. Don't feel you have to endure any position, okay? You're really looking, no, don't rush. Now you see your back edge to true edge. So turn your edge in, hide your shoulder. So remember on that side, that's better. Good, good. Good, nice and easy. Don't rush, softer. And again, think that you're trying to help your partner understand, not rush. Very good, okay? Can I just get you to take this for a second? Thank you. Okay, so.
It's quite fun, actually.
It's really fun. Did you ever think it wouldn't be? We're playing with swords.
It was so fun, chat.
So, what I want you to think of, this is where we go into concepts such as sentiment. I'll point down just so it's on. No, you're good. These are sort of like habits. You just kind of go. And also they're not set habits. So one of my friends, a researcher called Jess Finley, who's in the State, who does amazing armoured work and runs Turnstall Effect, I think it is. Really good researcher. Does an awful lot of research into hunting terminology within these treaties, because again the way that mnemonics change throughout different things. So when we're doing single-handed messer work, for example, we'll use more hunting terminology than we will agricultural. So it's just different things. Okay, so I've completely forgotten what it was that we were talking about.
Your friend Jess Findlay?
Yes. She said a thing once, it was great. And I will never forget it.
Always love that.
Or why she said it.
Jess.
Yeah, Jess.
You were talking about bad habits?
I cannot remember.
No, I think that was just you.
That was just me.
It's completely
my friend Luke.
Come back here. My friend, yes. So, go through this position for us again.
Yeah.
Okay, go through. Hopefully it will come back to my mind in a minute. Don't rush. Other foot? Other foot.
I knew it.
Good. Here we go. Good. Don't rush again. That's it. Turn that edge in. Okay, so relax. Okay. So, the idea of sentiment within this, okay, is going to be really important. What we need to understand is that the next thing that we will do will only work if your partner is maintaining the same intention. Okay, and so how we basically do this? Are you right if I touch your hand? For sure. Okay, give me your right hand because it's probably going to be a little bit easier to understand. Okay, so this is from Gerard Thibault, and he's writing quite late. He does Verdadera. It's beautiful. Okay, so he talks about these different energies that you use when you say so. It's none of this bullshit. Okay, it is literally what happens when you make contact with a sword, and we need to think about this when we're going from this position that we've just done. Same as when we're doing Verdadera. And the first energy is dead. And the first energy basically means if I push on your hand and I apply some downward pressure, what we're going to do is we're going to use your shoulder as a set line. Okay? So if I put pressure on your hand, and when I press, your hand just falls away from it. Okay? And to any degree, so as soon as I apply pressure, it just drops away. That is the sentiment dead. Okay? And against the sentiment dead, we must never go in, because it basically means we'll go in and our partner will like take their sword all over the place and we'll just run onto something. So we just don't. We navigate a different way. Simply put, if the energy goes dead, so if I push in this direction, I move away from it. Okay? And that we just know through touch. I push it this way, we move away from it. Okay? And this is the same as opening the door. Do you mind if I take this for a second? Sort out, please. This is the thing I was going to say about Jess Finley. This idea of keeping your sword down for safety, this is not a constant. This is something that I do in my school. Jess Finley doesn't like people to have their sword point on the floor, so she asks them to do this and be really careful about not sticking it in people near you. So there's just different manners of managing safety and decorum within a school. And it's just, I choose to keep the points down because quite often the hall gets quite crowded and we want to keep people safe in that way. So it varies depending where you are, and there's equally valid things. So it's, don't worry if you don't get it. You know, why are you not in my head understanding all the invisible thoughts that I have? So when we're here, okay, remember I said about the finished door tutorial, if I move the sword this way and you just fall away from it, all we should do is walk away from it. Okay, don't get involved in chasing it at all. And the same thing on the other side. If I press here and the sentiment dead goes on and it just goes, we move away. And there's usually two main reasons people give us the sentiment dead. One is to entice us this way so they can stab us on this side, and the other is just because they're in the process of changing from one side of the sword to the other. No, from underneath please, sorry. Okay? And here you see the sentiment dead will be applied just because they will drop away from the sword. Okay, so it's anything really that just drops and falls away. So the next sentiment, so if we just go over that again, can I get you to hold your hand up for me again please? Here. So the first sentiment here, the sentiment dead, falls away from. Okay? The second sentiment is just called sentiment, okay? And here that means if you just feel my hand with no pressure between your skin and your bones, just an awareness of where my hand is. So if I lift my hand up, you can maintain that pressure, but all you're feeling is the sense of touch, yeah? There's no actual physical pressure. If I remove my hands, you won't naturally follow it. So I have a moment where I do that, and then you won't follow instinctively. Or you won't follow because the pressure won't make you follow. Does that make sense? So we have no awareness, you just fall away. We have just touch. Sentiment is just touch. Just the sensation of feeling, but no pressure. The sentiment alive, and this is really live and lively are the two that we want to think about here and nothing else in this context. The sentiment alive is that if I try to push your hand down, without too much pressure, you'll try to stay there and you'll try and return only to the shoulder height. So if I push it down, stay there. No. So if there's a lull, it becomes different things. So now I need to move away because that's a mixture of sentiment and dead. So it's kind of this. Hold your arm at shoulder height, your hand at shoulder height. Hold it there. Don't let me push it down. Don't let me push it down. Okay? A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So when I do this, that's lively because it comes up to here. And this is how you judge it. Just it's the amount of spring. You see? Good, okay? So if a little bit less, there, now it just returns to position. So for this, we need the sentiment either alive or lively, okay? So the sentiment dead, we walk away from that. The sentiment, where there's just two feelings of touch, again we walk away from because you're not going to react to. The sentiment alive is just that awareness and a little bit more pressure, a little bit more, so now it's going to return to here, okay? And then the sentiment lively, a little bit more, where it's going to go here, but again it's not going to go too far. And those are really the only ones you want to worry about, okay? Because they're an instinct and a desire to keep pointing at the opponent, yeah? Not to take my sword up here, not to take it out here, but a desire to still point back at you and to still have that space, okay? So if we do that here, and you have that desire to still point at me, feel what happens if I just push my sword forward. Stay here, keep this pointing at me. So if I just do this, stay pointing at me, maintain that pressure. You see it letting it relax, don't let it relax. If I do that, you see how instinctively and naturally this just pulls across. That means it's dangerous for me to do that. Okay? Because instinctively or not instinctively, just because of the pressure you've got on the blade, you will naturally spring back as soon as I issue forwards. Does that make sense? So in that case, I have to do something different. And that is simply this. While we're maintaining that pressure, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, keep on moving around. Okay? If it's too much, we'll go here. Don't lift your point up too much. Again, limited by this geometry. Okay? So if I can get here, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend my arms out. You point on me. Okay? And see, the reason I mention that is that not because you pressing that way is wrong, but because you brought your point up, which gives us a more obtuse angle, and because you pushed across, the right thing for me to do was be on the other side of your sword. This is limited by the geometry of you wanting to point at my face. Hands down. Maintain that geometry. So your decision at this moment is you want to keep the threat on. And remember that idea of that porter to bring it, so that if you extend your arms out, see that will naturally occur? Okay. So, if I want you to extend your arms out, or if you're waiting for me to extend, sorry, back down please, sorry. If you're waiting for me to extend my arms out because you're going to push into it, if we do that, I can lift my hands and I can push. And don't worry, stay safe, stay safe, okay? And this requires you to trust me that I'm going to keep the sword controlled. If you start throwing yourself backwards, I'll tend to come forwards to try and keep myself safe, maintain pressure, and you're more likely to be injured. So trust, these are tipped, they're all going to be fine, okay? So stay with me. Stay in the room, stay in the room. Okay, here we go. Breathe, breathe. Stay, stay. Extend my arms. I push. Stay where you are. You see how it's easy, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my arms first, and then when I get to that position, I'm going to relax. I don't go any more than the last quarter of your sword, and I push it out. This is basically the same as a forcé and small sword, this kind of thing, okay? And what I'm doing is, if I offer my sword in a straight line and you maintain that pressure, when I go here, naturally I'll force out of the way, so I'm just coming here and I'm pushing like so. You see? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you try that with each other? We need to remember this conversation we had earlier. Before you go, stop. We need to maintain the intent and the limit of our intent. So the limit of our intent in this point is that we are holding this with the pressure that will point towards our opponent's face in such a way that if they come towards us, we will naturally push their sword out of the way and hit them. So we are staying in this geometry. Acute angle in our arms, obtuse angle in our sword. You see? On we go. Against which our partner gets to work. I would do this inside to inside. So that's going to be stay in your position. Yeah, lovely, good. A little bit closer for me. About there. And remember. Now, discuss this before you go. Who's going to go first?
I'll go.
Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to extend your arms forwards without any push. Okay. Now here, start turning, and now you're going to step with your left foot towards me. At the same time, push your arms out. Push your arms straight towards me. Straight towards me. And that point is going to stay down. Remember, we're not putting any points near the face. Okay. At all. At any point. Point down. Yeah. Perfect. Really well done. Good. 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 Now, if we were talking about guards, by the way, what would that have put you in?
Going back to the beginning of the session.
Because these are analogues.
Bull? No.
Yes,
Bull.
effectively. Guard of the Ox.
Oh, yes.
Guard of the moo cow.
The moo cow.
The guard of the moo cow. It's always much better if you go moo.
I was going to say,
That's going to help me a lot, actually.
Yeah. Going to get a moo here.
Utterly ridiculous.
Oh, stop. So I think we should be on the other side, right?
Did you just say utterly ridiculous? I'm proud of you.
That means more than you'll ever do.
You'll fit right in.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, tell me here.
Oh, was it me?
So I was going to
What
press.
have changed here?
So
you see your sword is pointing past his right shoulder.
yeah.
Yeah. So what does that mean to you? Can you proceed forwards by pushing? So what was the answer? Imagino. Yeah. So you'd go this way.
Yeah.
So you don't get involved in that fight, you see?
Yeah.
So, yeah, let it out, man. should bring some like sleeping bags out. We could just
No.
we could play Sleeping Lions. It'll be
I was
great.
up at 6.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. Right, so...
Kind of is in a way.
Right, so...
Yeah. Yeah. Now push it out. Push.
Yeah?
Well done. Good. Really nice.
I can go home now, chat. I've done it. Master Swordsman. It's like working with real tomcat, isn't it? It's a master strike.
Would you like to do that again?
Sure, one more time and then you can have a go.
Don't rush. That's very good though.
Yeah?
Very good. Yep.
Lovely.
Yep.
It feels good. Feels right.
It's fucking good at my job. No, honestly, it's because you're doing it right. And the thing is what I want you to see is the difference between how you're training this and how you were training with the dagger. Where at the dagger you were both kind of like a little bit here, and now you're having a conversation and you're going, that's a lever, how do we work against it? And that is really, really good. Really good. Well done. Sword first. And one of the things about sending the sword first is, watch, if I go here, so again it's sort of like this feeling of almost like working with the accompagnamiento, is that I give you that and then I make an assessment of what's going on when I give you the information. Okay? So, I give that to you, you haven't taken it, on we go. You see? Yeah? What I would say to watch out for, by the way, is as we're here, as I'm doing this is beginning to drop. And again, against the drop, we might be inclined just to walk away from it. See? Does that make sense? So this is going to work if your intention is to show him the end of your sword weenie. Okay. Yeah? Yeah? So remember, sword weenie does demonstrative thing.
Yes.
Yeah? And again, remember, how familiar are you with Shakespeare? Because I can never remember which play this is from.
We'll find out.
Yeah. But it is literally with the Marotte cavorting around, very Adrian Edmondson, Rick Mail, like, woohoo, woohoo, look at that. And it's not that you're trying to go, look, this is a nod, you're trying to do a comedy nod. And if you do that and you have this sense of jocularity to it, then all of a sudden the pressure becomes the same pressure that you'll use when you're fencing. Because it's like, I want you to look at this because it's funny. And you're like, no, I want you to look at this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And provided that pressure is maintained, only if it's maintained, pushing out to the side is important. If it collapses, we mustn't, because this does what? If I'm doing this, tell me the difference in what is happening with this. Okay? So if I'm here and I'm sticking my sword out and this is falling away, okay, and I still do this, what have I done with my arms? I've shortened them. And then I give you reach against me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you start collapsing, the predominant reason you're going to start collapsing, just letting your tip go, is because you're going to go. So if I extend my sword forwards and I feel that you're beginning to kind of like go there, maybe I want to move away from it. So again, this is not a beginning and end, this is during. All the way through this, I have to make the assessment whether you're hard or soft at the sword and react accordingly. At that point, it's a little bit different because by that point it's too late. Yeah. But still try and get that intention to stay pointing without taking your hands away from this position. Yeah, very good.
Kind of one more go and then
You have as many goes as you like, so it's your side quest.
Well, I am a noble.
Don't rush it. Can you feel that sword falling away from you?
Yes, towards the end.
Yeah. So that's the difficult thing, is it will become more difficult to maintain, but try and maintain it. Nice and calm. Very good. One, push.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, what was the step? Because I'm not sure I've learnt it.
So
Two ways you can do it. Okay? Either just our simple transverse step, which basically means our back leg is going to step in. Here, this is very Achille Marozzo.
I think I have it.
Watch this, by the way. If the sword drops down here, we're going to deal with this in a different way, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Okay?
So it's the...
Yep.
It's that.
Now
and
push it out of the way.
then
Push.
step.
That's it. Yep, and relax. Cool, good.
So it's the sword drives, then the body follows.
Sword goes straight, then pushes.
Cool. Okay.
Don't rush.
Sorry.
Now, what is telling you when you go forwards that's the wrong thing to do?
I don't know.
So when you're doing this, give me the same pressure that you're giving. Okay, there, here. Now that I'm just going to do this, because what he's doing is he's pushing across here, but he's doing it late. So I'm just going to do that, and I don't even need to push my arms across.
Okay.
And it's just due to the pressure he's using. But again, if he's pushing over here, just don't be involved.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. So anyway, just because we can spend ages doing this, and it will be great for you because you can feel it, but no one else can feel what's going on in the sword, so it won't make any sense. Okay? So, effectively what that means is that Ox fundamentally breaks early full, latter plough. Okay, and this is my academic way of dealing with it. If we go, this is going to be early full, it's going to be latter plough. There's different resources talking about in different ways. Don't worry about it. We do both. Okay, so from here, can I get you to stand over there for us, please?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get you to pop over here? Do not panic. Do not go suddenly. Show no mercy. Hang on, no. So, okay, turn your sword a little bit. Don't grip it like death grip. Subtle like. Okay, so if I'm here and you start pushing up and forwards, sword first, sword first. So the first thing, stop, extend this towards my face. Okay, and if I'm still waiting here, now start pushing out. Push, 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 push. Now you've got to push your arms ahead of you, hands ahead of you, because you've got to force this out of the way. Okay, there you go. Okay, so there's different ways we can beat this. I'm going to show you my favourite one because it's just fun. Ready? Once more. Push. There you go.
I know I was on the receiving end, but that was cool as fuck.
So that's from von Baumann.
Oh, baby.
Okay, that's a von Baumann footwork technique.
Am I a
but I'd argue
masochist?
that it turns up in so much, but it's a really, really simple thing from von Baumann, which is basically if someone gives you anything that, in this case, basically what I'm doing is usually used against the weak. But in anything where I can get your sword and then gain the weak of it, I can throw it off to one side. And then it ties into how it's used in Paulus Hector, which is interesting, but it's a various different things. So simply all I'm doing here, okay, and you're going to do this really slowly, okay, is that when you start pushing up, so you extend your sword up, I'm going to make a movement of increase here, which basically again means I've got this better angle. At which point you're probably going to have to try and go weaker than my sword, which means you're going to go underneath. Okay? And rather than waiting for or worrying about it, I'm simply going to sweep it out of the way, and then I'm going to smack you one. Okay?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Now this is interesting because this gives us a fundamental reason as to why we go into a position called the Guard of Wrath. So very often you kind of go, oh, Guard of Wrath looks like this. But if you do this, and again if we have our 1, 2, 3, we go here, sword go up, can you see the problem? There. Okay, so 1. Push it out of the way. Hands up. There. 1, 2. Guard of Wrath, Smacky of Wrath. You see? Technical term. It's like Lictor now for 6-year-olds. Do the Smacky of Wrath. Slowly. So first thing, we're going to make a movement of increase, but we're also going to lift our hands up, which is going to force our partner onto the strong of our sword.
Okay.
Okay?
So as
it up.
Luke pushes, I drive up.
There. Now what you're going to do is you're going to fold your arms. Like severely fold your arms. Up, 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 up. Turn your hand like that. That's it, stay there. Okay, here. Now, here, just sweep that thing away. And then, nice and gently, smash. Good. Okay.
So
and
it's
these,
up.
by the way, don't try and go for pump and stop it because they've got a lot of momentum in it and that's teeth gone. Okay?
Don't take my teeth. No,
Don't
there's
take
not many left.
Are you good with
oh,
that?
that's cool. You want to try it slowly?
Yeah. Sorry. So I go up.
Oh, nice.
Other edge.
Around.
Other edge. Other edge.
Other edge.
So watch. Here, have you ever done any kung fu?
No. Only the panda movies.
Counts, totally counts.
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally counts, man.
Yeah, totally. Totally thing. Okay? So again, here, my partner lifts, I increase, and now what I'm doing is I'm curving. Yeah? Now, I'm going to show you this with a small sword.
It did feel very cool.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I'm catching the bug here. I'm catching the bug. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so if we're looking at Angelo, this effectively becomes the same as a guard of second, okay? So basically when we're here, what we're doing is we're encouraging our partner to go underneath. When they thrust us underneath, simply all we're doing is here and then lunge. You see? So it's just that, boom, that's all it is. Up, boom, easy, okay? But with your arms crossed.
Yeah, but the crossing of the arms looked a little bit tricky. Was it?
It's an awkward thing, I guess, to...
It's
because if I
harder
then
than not doing it by crossing your arms.
and then I go... So it's like that, right?
Right, so, watch.
And then round. And then down.
Right. Come in. It looks complicated, but sword up. Okay. Lift your sword up. Up. Now just scoop my sword while I put. There you go. It's fundamentally the same thing.
Okay.
Now, just turn the back of your hand towards you as you do it. One. Turn the back of your hand towards you. There you go. Scoop. Now keep your hands up when you do it.
Okay.
So 1, 2. Keep your hands up. 1. Keep your hands up. Turn it. Other way. Other way. Other way.
Ah, bollocks.
Okay. That's bullets. Sorry. Here we go. Hold it.
Yep.
So watch. If I do this, and my hand is still attached, it's nigh on impossible to do it without crossing my hands. So what I want you to think of doing, lift your sword up, a bit higher, take your backhand off, now do that. Okay, do it again. 1, up, do that, good, once more. Now, just touch the pommel of your sword with your backhand, keep on going, there you go. Now don't drop your hands. If you drop your hands, I'll stab you in the face. Up, 2, no, don't overthink it, do that. There you go. Job done.
Amazing.
Job done. Don't rush. Do not rush.
It's so tempting to run.
It's really...
It is,
really
isn't it? It's like slow the fuck down. Luke.
Slow the fuck down. Yeah.
I don't know why I do that. I'm just so eager.
Because
So
you have an artificial feeling of safety.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I want you to do, so there's a really nice thing in Debris, which is, so we were talking about the concept that Joachim Meyer says that we don't thrust with long swords anymore. We don't thrust because, you know, sort of like it stops people from dying. But we do demonstrate the thrust. He doesn't say we demonstrate the thrust, but he's constantly going like, you kind of show a thrust here, but you don't do the thrust. And what I want you to think of is this ties it into in a safety concept. It ties it into things like Girard Thibault, it ties it into things like Debris, where we're talking about how do we keep our partner safe. So what we do is we show you a clear technique and we arrest out courtesy. The idea is I don't impact on you, I go, here it is. So if we've done that, then we've taken away from the concept of this being a real fight. So now we go slowly enough that we can feel the mechanics of it, because it's not a real fight, so we might as well dispense with all the shit that makes it pretend it's a real fight. And what's going on when you're doing it fast is your brain's kind of going, oh, this is fucking great, and then something gets stuck in an eye and it's no longer a joke. So we go as slow as we can. And then we stick fencing masks on and then we hit each other and we don't worry about it, okay? And we can put fencing masks on you to do this if I've got your size. But get the feel of how you're trying to do it. And I get it. I used to do it exactly the same thing, and what ended up is I ended up with me and my mate tussling at the sword, his sword collapsing from, he's like 6-7 stone heavier than me, him pushing through so hard that my sword went BAM! In the top of his head. Wooden sword, lots of claret. But it could have gone so much worse. So we need to be not even assumptive of safety. We have to maintain safety. We have to be aware that everything we do has an impact on what we're doing to our partner. Put it back through, go through slow. I get the thing, it's fucking fun. But just the mechanics. Even slower. And so that's not wrong, but that's a different technique. Shit.
That's what I was going for, actually.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
master
it.
stroke.
Yeah, totally intentional.
Master stroke.
There's a bit of the mutiere on there going on.
Do you have something called master stroke? Do you know about this? Of course.
Yeah, but that's later and it costs a fucking fortune.
It's literally Tomcat. there's a master swordsman in KCD called Tomcat, and everyone says that you are literally him.
Oh, no. So, master strikes.
Sorry.
No, it's just basically it's going like when we talk about master strikes, I just like you to hello. I just want you to look at the idea going like there's 5 main strikes. So you can call them master strikes, and you can go like, oh, there's something fucking mysterious and mystical to them because they're the master strikes. They sneak in the night and they spank you. What I want you to think of is...
Sounds pretty masterful.
Yeah, exactly, right? That move costs extra. What I want you to think of is just basically going, these are the 5 main strikes that you need to learn. So these are the strikes which are more important than anything else for you to learn. Yeah? So the way that we use terminology and the way we use language, there's a really interesting thing with this, and this ties into the mnemonics, is very often when we're using very often when we're using medieval terminology and Renaissance terminology, particularly in the earlier stuff, there is this real sense of when you cannot articulate something through an image necessarily, you're articulating it through the use of the wordplay. So, just bear with me 1 second.
This is surreal. We're literally getting taught master strikes.
So if we have, can you just stick your sword on your right shoulder for me, just for reasons, okay? So here we have in 133 we have this thing, and it's called a Schutzen. So it's sort of like, all techniques have their counters, which are called Schutzen. And when we get to sort of like going, well, this what the fuck's a Schutzen? So Schutzen, unless I'm very much mistaken, is a combination of 2 things. Because it's a cover with which you go towards the enemy in order to allow yourself to shoot at them. How fucking cool is that? You use one word to go, I am going to get in towards you underneath cover until it's too late, and then I'm going to shoot you. Fucking brilliance in a term. When you think about when we're going through the sort of like, when we're talking about how we understand the concept of ploughing, when you're going, I understand ploughing as being this. That's important, because then it gives a rationale to the plough. And the plough isn't just a position, it's a concept of movement. And all of these things, the ball, what does it do? It's not just, it's this shape, it's the potential and the weight to thrust, so it's the threat, but also sometimes it is the thrust as well, it's the forcing yourself through. So these mnemonics are not, I think, chosen lightly when they're done. When we're doing the guard of the roof, I quite often think that when we're doing this and we stick it in the roof, if you start moving forwards with this, you end up engaging both sides of the anterior obliques. And now you have this feeling that you get this tension where it's in preparation to strike, because there's that feeling of the sword being stuck in the ceiling. And I think these things are really, really important when you're going through this. So a Schutzen, the wordplay, is very, very good and useful to you. Okay? And again, I've lost track of where we were.
Master strikes.
Master strikes. So yeah, just these are the 5 main strikes you need to use.
Yeah.
What do they do? Remember I said this? Here. If you've ever seen sort of like something like a haka or something like this, or when you look at sort of like Japanese theatre, or a lot of Asian theatre, where you get sort of like posture of doing this, and you know that fucker is going to smack someone. There's the implication of it. And it doesn't matter that you're not necessarily going to do that. The guard of wrath is a fucking subtle thing. It's like, I'm going to do, oh no, there's a point in your face. Doesn't have to be, I'm going to do this sort of like, if we're doing Fury effectively with Posture Honor, it's going to be here, I'm going to step off and I'm going to do this extra little steps.
That does remind me of one of the moves in the game, actually. There's a move where I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Master Strike is something like a big swing, but then something that like completely disarms you. Oh, I'm going to. I've upset you.
No.
I should just.
So no, it's good. So when we're looking at the Strike of Wrath, anything that is too wide leaves space for your opponent to kill you. Yeah. So if you're doing something that's like really, really big, but you're doing it at the wrong distance, you might smack the sword out the side and away, but that's the assumption that your partner is dumb enough to stick the thing forward.
Oh, Henry would never. Henry would never.
As opposed to going, what this is it's going, if these are attitudes of, if the implication of threat is there, or if I ask you to adopt a position that you will understand will emulate wrath. Okay, again, when I'm here, and say I've gone through this, sword up please. Here, lift your sword for me, please. Here, okay. So if I've gone here for that brief moment when I've done this, I'm in the guard of wrath. And you might do something, but you might not. It doesn't matter. I still pass through the Gad of Wrath. Now, I might stay there and I might draw my sword back in order to entice you to strike, with the fear of the repercussion of the strike of wrath. But it doesn't mean that the strike of wrath is going to be it's so hard. The implication is it's coming hard, but if you use it like that, probably 2 dead people. Yeah? So you're going to use it with sensibility and with subtlety. But you then know what the position looks like, because if I go to you, look like you're going to really fucking smack me one if I come close to you, you'll probably be a bit like, can I have one? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So its value is as a mnemonic. And this is why I want you to draw away from the idea that a master strike is something that is fucking mysterious. It's going, if you need to know the 5 most important strikes that you will use in fencing, upon which we will base all of our geometry, and these are the most structurally important things that we are going to use within this art of fencing. That's what it's saying. You're like, we look for mysticism where there's none. Really. Okay? On you go. Carry on.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it. You did it. You did it, baby.
Felt pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Look cool.
I am highly aroused.
And that's where we'll cut the stream,
I'm
chat.
full right now.
We've got business to attend to. Okay.
I'm just going to oil my weapon in the background. Don't mind me.
You polishing your sword over there, man?
I'm buffing it quite.
Do you remember when he asked, do you like innuendo? Okay.
Don't rush. So tell me what was wrong with that. Remember we were talking about this concept of George Silver, okay? So if I'm doing this, and you can do this with the sword in front of you, or you can do the sword separately. Very gently, please do not blind me. I'm just going to put my hand in. So if I do this, you can shunt that into my face, and my sword is still short of you. So the first thing I'm going to do is see what you do to react to that. And that means there's an extension of the arm, and I might go, ooh. See? And now we can play games. You see? Does that make sense? When you're doing this, you have no... No, you're good. You've got no information in front of you. And this is still open. I've given him... When we talk about the sword, usually we have divisions that are greater than this, but the simplest is that this is the strongest half, this is the weakest half. And if I go in offering my opponent the weakest half, they're going to give me the strongest half and a point in the face. And the fact that they're not doing it when we're doing a training exercise is not something we ignore their potential to do. Does that make sense? So we go here. Oh, they've not done something. I better make myself safe. I'm going this way now because that seems to improve. Okay?
Yeah, for me, at this point, I'm just like trying to remember the moves, but actually it's remembering the fundamental reason why you're doing what you're doing.
This is why I say a commetamiento is a really, really good thing. And I'm showing you a commetamiento where a commetamiento is not necessarily implied. But the concept of giving is really, really cool. So when we're here, okay, the idea that here, I give and I see what happens when I give. Yeah? Now again, where that occurs is a slightly different thing. But it's still useful here. I give and then I make my decision how I'm going to go from that point. You see? Does that make sense? And then what you're doing is, the reason I'm saying don't rush it is because you're overloading your brain. We're going like, have you ever played Paranoia?
No.
You know Paranoia?
No.
So Paranoia is an absolutely great game. It's an old role-playing game where you have a series of clones and you're basically kind of like in a vault, like in Fallout. But the vault has been maintained by a computer that is very definitely your friend. It's really a good friend, and you would never betray the computer because he's your friend, isn't it? But everybody's in a secret society that are all infiltrated by the computer, okay? And you're going to die at some point, okay? I've gone off a tangent again, haven't I? Okay? What the fuck was I talking about? There was a reason for this. There's always a reason. It's just getting to it. Okay?
It's all right.
I liked the introduction of Fallout though, briefly.
Yeah.
What the fuck were we talking about?
You were saying...
Overload.
Yes.
Can't remember what that was either.
That's
What
right.
this is it. So there was a particular thing in White Dwarf, a role-playing magazine that I think is still going. I think, maybe. But basically there was this idea in the 70s and 80s that if you listened to hypnosis tapes, it's very Matrix, if you listened to these tapes that told you how to do things, you would learn how to do them while you're asleep. And the principle is that they give somebody this tape, they make them listen to it, and they go, I know Kung Fu. And then they release them into a room full of special forces who just beat the shit out of them. And how this is emulated in the game is you sit there and the person asks you asks you about technique from a Kung Fu manual, and then your friends are just beating you with cushions while you're trying to articulate it. And what I want you to think of when you're doing this is that fundamentally, when you go, there are 7 things I need to do, and you go, yeah, and we don't do that. What you do is you go, remember, field strip, I need to take the pressure from myself. Okay, well that wasn't what I expected to happen. Now we can either talk about it or we can rationalise the technique. So what you do is you go, if there's a lot to process, do it more fucking slowly so that you can do checkpoints. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Don't try and learn the special forces all at once, like boom, yeah? 1, 2, nope. And I want you to watch that your face is not so set. So the first thing, wait. Have a reason to do this thing. So if I do this and you just push up with your hands, this is not the reason.
Okay.
As I start pushing, now make the increase, now 12. There you go, and now you see that I don't have the same advantage of movement that I had before because I have to commit to this press first. You see? Yep, very good.
It's very cool.
Do you want to go around that way, Matthew? It's got the better view. Okay. Do it. End it. I'm done. I can't be bothered anymore.
I'm sorry, my master.
Can I haven't tried this yet. I might try this. I don't know what the fuck to do, but I'm going to give it a go.
So your one is, I'm on this side.
Can you just show me the move?
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing. What are you going to do?
Ask you.
No, you're going to do it really slowly so that if you fuck it up, you're still safe.
Okay.
Yeah?
So essentially,
I'll give it a go. But yeah, do you want to
essentially,
walk me through it? Yeah.
as let's go into...
Upper leg forward.
Yep.
Trudge. Slow. Breathe. Slow.
So
Does it feel right for you to do the thing before you go forwards?
No.
Okay, then don't.
So you.
I think I need to be on the other side.
Are you sure?
No, you're alright.
No, this feels right.
So as I go forwards, I'm then going to step. You push up.
I push up.
And you keep going up. I think it's more upwards.
Yeah.
Relax for a second. Let me just show you why it's not right. Hold on. Here. So go once more. Yeah. Stop. Come back. So, his intention is no longer... You're off I touch your hand? Sure. Okay. Yeah, okay. His intention is no longer to point to your face. Remember we talked about the energies? Live and lively. Both of those will need to point to your face. His intention is this now. You see? So you can't proceed to push against this in that same way. There's lots of other things you can do, but you can't do that one thing. So the limit of your technique is remember to point your face.
Right.
So if you're only maintaining this, extend your arms forward, stay. You see you try to lift your hands to make that thing stop happening. Now because here, you recognise that if you try and proceed past that, your partner's going to ram this out of the way. Okay? So come back. It's only an inch by the way, I haven't just done anything weird. Okay? So when you start pushing, as they start pushing, you're going to lift your sword up into this position here. Now, and this again is at this point.
Oh yes, yeah.
Because you basically attack the triangle. Okay? See this triangle kind of here. Okay? Now from here,
that's the point.
Sweep this down. Don't take your hands back. Sweep it right down. Sweep it to tight. Keep your hands up. And the reason you've got to keep the hands up is this. Can I take this for a second? Sure. Okay? So when my partner extends the sword here, so when they go up, they start. No, don't bend your arms. Straight. Now push my sword out of the way. Push. Hold that there. So when they're here, first of all I increase. Okay. Again, hand light on. Okay. If I do this, just relax. Where's your hands like relaxed out? Keep your hands up. So relax in the Tai Chi manner, which basically means don't drop.
Oh, okay.
So if I do this and I drop my hands, they're going to stab me over the top, and that's got to be seen as their intention in going weak. Okay. So when we're here. You see? But if I drop my hands down, did I drop my fucking hands? I hope I didn't.
No, you make you.
Good, because I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Watch your head. Watch your head. Push my sword out of the way. Okay. Good. if I see here, I want to cover my head as I go.
Okay,
See?
I think I get it. Okay, let's give it a bash. Slowly. Something like that. David, I need you to tell me if I did good.
You always do good, my son. I'm always proud of you. Always proud of you.
I needed to hear that.
Let's have a look. Go slow, go slow. One, slow, 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 slow. Don't over push it. What do you think made it wrong? At what point did you think it went wrong?
Right from. Can I just slowly once more, just so I'm. Okay, so start.
So
Here. I'm doing
you-
something wrong here.
Yeah, if you pushed it across,
Yeah.
you're encouraging your partner to lift the sword, not drop
So
it.
what I needed to do was stay trying to point at his face.
Yeah, there you go. So you
Right,
do this.
and that's what I didn't do.
Keep your arms extended.
Instinctively,
Hold it,
I
hold it,
don't
hold it.
want to do that, which is weird. Okay,
But
so
it's the thing
not
is,
the face.
it's almost relax for a second, okay?
Yeah.
So this is one of these things that you learn when you're sort of like doing fencing repeatedly. Is that if you get to a certain distance and you go, fucking have one, the reflex from people, even accidentally, is to do two things. It's that dichotomy. They kind of go, ah! And they'll usually stick you at the same time as they block, instinctively.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're not doing it at the moment is probably because we've dropped down below that instinctual level. And that's not a bad thing, because it means you're keeping each other safe, so well fucking done. But it's kind of the thing, if someone jabs out at you, quite often your reflex is just to go, bah! Yeah? You just kind of throw your hands back. There's research into this about flinch responses, where different people react in different ways. So some people kind of cover up, some people just stick their hands out straight away. The easiest way you do it is just watch what happens when a baseball goes into a crowd.
I think there's one other thing that my instinct is to push out, and it's because maybe I don't feel like I have enough leverage by staying in the middle. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely. But that's kind of the point. Because I can either go, when you're pushing, okay, that's my instinct, that's my intent, my partner pushes, and if they want this space, what I'm doing, can I get you to pop over here for a second, okay? This is really only if we haven't pushed across, but if we push across, our partner's probably going to cut us instead. That's fine. But this is a way of going from this position where shit has got a little bit uncomfortable. How do I recover from that? And basically what you do is you open the box from the inside. You see? So it's going,
As soon as it feels...
I can't do much with this.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. That
Yeah?
makes sense.
Yes,
Let me try
good.
it again.
The thing is you asked so much the right question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm,
really good,
I'm
really
following
good.
it. It's just about
Yeah.
employing
No,
it.
you're doing good.
Okay.
you ready?
Yeah.
Calm, slow, extend, push. No. Let it go a bit wrong first.
Okay.
So remember what you said, we talked about. The first thing is that reflex of just pushing back towards the opponent's face, gently, calmly, and then going, if I did that, shit, actually that's what they're countering, now I have to react in that position of disadvantage.
Okay.
2, 3, nope. Tell me why.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
So
don't
at the
know.
moment your mind is on obstruction.
Uh-huh.
So when we're here, one, rather than doing this, because if I do this, which is the default, my opponent is naturally going to want to push that out of the way. From that pushed out of the way position, going from the inside is the right thing.
So it's the last minute that you would do it.
Well, not the last minute. Again, these are sort of like there's always this element of you want to do it during, not at the end, because if it's at the end, you've probably just been stabbed. But it's going slowly through those. But it's sequential logics. It's just relax for a second. It's like binary gates. Is the gate closed? Can't go through it. We do this. Okay? And in this case, it's like I've got an opening to the face. Shit, it's been taken away from me. Not I've done a block. Okay, if I've done a block, they're going to move around it. I've done a shot that, oh fuck. Recover. Yeah? So this is one of my favourite descriptions of fencing is the art of fencing is recovering from that perfect thing you did going fucking horribly wrong. Yeah? It's like, oh look, perfect, oh Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's how you recover from your inevitable betrayal by the sword. Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
I still feel like I'm not going to do it right. But
Hey,
I,
you are.
just being honest.
Well, you can be honest, but you can be wrong. You're going to be great.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, none of that.
Thanks.
That is still proud.
Okay, so
Slow. 2.
doesn't feel right. What am I doing?
That's all right. You were most of the way there. So the first thing, when the first part happens, when this extends through, now just stick your hands forward.
Then it's about going
Now
forward.
you're going to force that out of the way. Now you're going to fold. Hands up. Pop, pop, pop. There you go.
Okay, so it's about going forward, not out. Okay.
Yeah.
Forward, not out. Forward, not out. Forward, not out.
Slow. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was right. Ish. It was better.
Yeah, it's just honestly the majority of stuff that's going on there is like errant pressures, and don't worry about that because to get all the right pressures in the session, as long as we've got the days, is good fucking luck. You've done really well. You've done very very well. I would suggest that we put the long swords down,
Yeah, sure thing.
and what I think
God,
I'm
they're
going to
tiring, aren't they?
I'm not going to
Who'd have
take
thought?
you into just because you're doing Kingdom Come stuff. I'm not going to take. I was going to take you to some Verdadera. But I think I'm going to try and stick with sort of like some messery stuff,
Sure.
which I think you'll probably enjoy.
Matty, how are you doing?
It's
The
difficult.
rain is
with
annoying,
yeah,
isn't it? Yeah. I'm sorry.
it's
You're
not
doing
your
great.
fault. Yeah,
Chat,
it's
isn't he doing
London.
well? Let's
So
check
good.
on chat.
Doing amazing. Like
I'm going to eat some of a sandwich.
that's a workout in itself.
It is, it is. You're going to have a very strong back by the time I'm done with you, Matty. Very strong.
If I get too jacked, it's your fault.
Do you need anything? Do you need a coffee or anything? Or are you...
No, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just checking on chat here.
Thank you, chat. I see you.
Matty's keeping an eye on you,
Yeah.
even though I can't always. Thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in today. It's been great. If you haven't been from the start of the stream, which many of you won't have been, today we've been having a kind of masterclass, a very beginner's masterclass in swordsmanship with David Rawlings and Josh Wichard. And it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. So thank you for sticking with us, and we're going to do, I think, one more different discipline. This looks fun. But yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I thought I suggest that we finish up as well because you maintain focus really good, and to go from being jumpy to being smooth is really really fucking difficult. And I'm very glad that you both did that. It's really good. Okay, so all we're going to do, very very simple. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to push your sword to one side. And as I push your sword to one side, I just want you to cut me on the top of the head. Okay? Okay? And think about when you're doing this. So if you're going through underneath, again, we have this line here. Okay? So, first thing, cover your head. How are you going to cover your head? There you go. Yay! Excellent.
Yeah, that felt right.
And let's do this one. Okay? So come around this side for me.
On this side.
Yeah? Okay? And all I want you to do is you're going to cut my head.
Yeah.
And again, if you cut me in the head, just obviously we can do this, but you can see the problem is that although I've stabbed you, I still get clonked in the head. It's not a good sacrifice, okay? Pyrrhic in the fucking least. So when we're here, what we're going to do, this being the navel, okay? We're going to put the nail in the way. So as we're here, please, okay, it's the same thing. I'm just going to push, cover your head, okay? You cut. Make sure you're going to reach me. So you're going to have to step. Okay, so up, so just there, fine.
That was all going?
Just step with that front foot. Here we go, sword up. Here we go, cover yourself. 2, up, 1. Okay, so we're going to do this. With a big backhand here. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to try and touch the shoulder here. When I touch the shoulder, I'm going to turn the arm this way, and then I'm going to shoot.
Oh my god.
Holy Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Okay, so it's a fairly easy one. Okay, so do you want to see it once more?
Yeah.
And do you want me to show you with him in a second as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so nice and simple. All I'm going to do, I'm going to push your sword out of the way, cover your head, here, First of all, don't drop your hand because your head's not covered. So
Okay.
first thing, cover your head. There you go, cover your head, 2. Okay, see I'm using the nail here.
Yeah.
Okay? All I'm doing at that point, I'm passing forwards and I'm just going to try and touch this here. Okay, I'm going to turn my elbow down Now, don't straighten your arm out. It's tempting to, but what's going to happen is you're going to get a wrench. Also, don't drop your hand, because if you drop your hand, I'm going to do something different. Okay? So this is kind of about people still wanting to maintain the sword up here. So, okay, sword goes up, cover your head, make the strike, in we go, through we go, rip the sword, into the wrist. Okay, there we go. Oh my god.
Very effective.
Okay, so nice and simple again. Sword up here, cover your head,
Yeah.
cover your head.
So it's that.
There you go, like proper cover up. There you go, okay, cut around. Just top of the head. No, no,
Oh.
here, cover your head. Lift your hand up, just cover your head. There you go. Make us, yeah, sword hat, okay? Chop at the top of the head. There you go.
Would
My
that
head
be the
being
back
here.
end one?
Yeah, yeah, okay. Now, because the hand's over here, simply put, we just do it differently.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is really when you've got the sword slightly on your left-hand side. Okay, and this basically the easy way of judging this is I just look for the shoulder. Okay, okay. Do you want to go? Now, when you put these on the, when we go here, folks, when we do this. By the way, it looks great because you're like, oh yeah, Dave gets to do this, and I get to break his arm, and it's amazing. Grab hold of the point of your sword.
I'm trying.
No, with your other hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't try it with the same hand, you'll drop it. Wait. Okay, here. Now, just pull your sword, and keep this tight,
Yeah.
or even grab your own wrist. Okay? Now, pull your wrist that way.
Oh.
Yeah? So it's not that, oh, well, it's great when you're doing the demonstration, you get to win, but if your partner's better at wrestling than you, good luck. Yeah? It's just as simple that we get to accept our fallibility when we're doing this, okay? So go through, nice and gentle.
I've accepted mine many times today.
Now you're doing really well, both of you. So first thing, this time we're going to go on the other side, which you're going to push the sword across, lift your hand up to cover your head, make the strike to the head.
You strike me, yeah.
Make sure you don't take the point through. Yeah, you're going to step. And
Yeah.
again, you could do this, but you're going to prioritise safety. Okay? So one, here, okay? Take your left hand, touch the shoulder. No, other way. Over the top between the two swords.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
That's it. Okay?
Okay.
While the arm's still here,
Uh-huh.
bring your hand down. Turn your hand down like this. Like so. Yeah, you're right to touch your hand?
Yeah, for sure.
Here.
Okay.
Okay? And you want to try and grab around the elbow here. Now crank it, and you want to do this before you get there. Okay?
Okay. Very slowly.
Do you want me to show you one more time?
please.
Yes, just watch this
Yes,
bit.
please,
okay?
'cause that
All I'm
is
doing
quite-
here, hold it for me, okay? All I'm doing here is I'm doing a fanning motion. Now I could do this. You're right, you're okay, you're good?
Yeah,
You're
no,
good?
great.
Just a surprise.
Cool the fuck out of me. Holy
Okay.
shit.
But you're not going to on this one. We're going to
Okay.
sweep it past ourselves. So from here, we're going to sweep. No. And that's because you're dropping.
Okay.
Okay? So this again is this desire to be up here. So if we're both staying here, through, two, and now we have this. But it's this thing, if someone's sword drops away, you just get to ram the sword through their face. So you just, like, yeah, that's why you're kind of keeping your hand there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Step through with your left foot and touch the shoulder. That's it. That's fine. Now there, and that's fine. So this is the adaptation. This basically makes this very similar to a... You okay with hands again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Should have asked again. Sorry. Here. Can you see? Like so. Okay.
Is there no danger of catching your legs?
Yes.
Well, we
So-
are sword fighting.
Here's the thing. So like, there's an awful lot. Okay. There's points. Alfieri talks about this. I think it's Alfieri. He just basically says it's better to lose the use of your hand than it is to lose your life. Okay. Tebow says basically sort of like people will just do this and they grab hold of the point of your sword because it gives you the power of life over them. Okay. Yes, your hand might get completely fucked. They're going to be a teabag. You know. So it's like
PG tips.
PG tips, exactly. You give them the PG tip. Yeah.
Just. Okay.
Yes, quite.
All right.
So outside to outside,
That.
over the top, 2, 3.
That would take my leg out big time.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm like, I won. I felt it scrape.
So much. Okay. So if you feel it's going underneath here, okay, you have to relinquish this idea of going in and guide it past. Yeah. So there has to be this sensibility. If you get a chance, there's some really nice machete fighting by I need to check his name, but they did a documentary called Papa Machete, and they have this really nice slow thing. But the concept of it is that at any point that the information changes, you can change your response and how you go through. So we're not committed to doing that one thing. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of different things when we go through. Okay, the next one here. Okay, same thing. This time when they go to the top of the head again. Nope. Again, this is going over the top.
Sorry.
So cover your head. One. When they go over, strike. Okay. This one very, very similar. Over the hand. Chop.
Oh!
Yeah.
Can I see that once more?
Cover your head. Not going to do that one. Okay. Let it go. Top of the head. Up. Okay. Through. Same position.
Ooh.
Yep.
Sure thing. So I go
Cover the head.
that.
Hi.
Hey, sweetie. I got you.
I got you, babe.
Alright, got you, babe. Okay. So you
So
go
I
there.
cover the head.
No, don't assume. Never assume. Because again, if you can't see your point, you can't keep your partner safe.
Yeah.
So I cover the head.
Yeah.
Tell me what's different. He's covering his head on the opposite side.
Yes.
Oh,
So
so I need to be doing that.
Chop to the head. And that's fine, because you're just doing this. Now if you're going to do this, what I would suggest in this case, you're either going to do the first one you did, let's just change this just for the sake of fun, okay? From here, okay? Push your hand forwards, up, bring me your left hand, here, push that onto the elbow, from here, elbow. There you go. This hand, over the wrist, and put it down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah?
Cool.
So basically, okay, from this binding here, one, chop, here, pull. Okay, so you can do that just with your front hand. One, you can do that, checking with your back hand. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? And that's just engage, roll.
God, that's cool.
It is cool. Whether or not I can do it is the question.
Yeah, now the thing is there, stay there, stop.
Just
Because this is, yeah, stay. No, I'm not, this is not a criticism. And I'm really glad you stopped at this point.
Yeah.
Because here you can feel your partner beginning to do that, so they're beginning to drop here. And if they're doing that, move the sword
go
down.
there and do something else.
Lots of things, but also watch. Remember, we were here. If this is beginning to drop forwards, remember, and that's exactly the same as if we were doing the longsword. Yeah.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, the solutions become the same. What we like to talk about is the concept that the weapon might change because of fashion, but the fundamental structure of it is still the fundamental structure of what your body can do. Yeah. So you could do this with Bowie knife; it would be very, very similar. Because your arms are still going to do the same thing. You could do it with a stick, because a stick is going to be similar to, because you've got two hands on it. Yeah. So it's simple. If it's in one hand, kind of the same. Joachim Meyer talks about this. The art of Dusa basically is for everything in one hand. All of the sort of like one-handed weapons you can kind of learn through Dusa, because it's a one-handed thing. Yeah, and you can argue the same for staff and longswords. Two-handed thing, it kind of works the same way. Yeah. Good. Once more. And again, yeah, there you go. And that's using rationale, because what you're doing by doing this is you're creating a lever, which is why you might do this, which is then going to create something you have to play around. Yeah? Gents, I can see your attention is getting to its limit, so I think for safety's sake, I think that's a good time for us to stop. We
Nice.
can talk as much as you like,
No worries.
but you've done really fucking well.
Yeah, it was great.
That was so much fun.
It was
Thank
indeed.
You, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
David, thank
Are you
you
huggers
so
or shakers,
much.
by the way?
I'm a
Oh, no,
hugger. Hey!
we're both.
Thank you so much.
No, pleasure.
That was so much fun. Oh my god.
Thank you.
That was wonderful. Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in today. It was a
It's a
real
huge amount of
treat.
fun.
Yeah,
Thank you
it
for
was.
having me on.
Yeah, mate, pleasure. I hope everyone's enjoyed. I don't really know what else to say apart from thank you to David.
Yeah,
who's
thank you.
Giving up his time
No, it's been a pleasure.
And weapons.
and weapons
And place.
and cat.
Cats.
We will never forget Bruce. Will we chat? But yeah, we'll end it there. All right, Matty, do your thing.
Do your thing.
Matty's got a thing to do now. Bye, chat.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.